Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sunday Night Raw! TikTok lights and the panels live. Everybody shouting just to survive. Wild claims flying through the air. No curvature, NASA means to deceive. Talking louder, talking fast. Nobody wants the questions asked. Spinning stories, pushing hard, while spooky music plays in the dark. Round and round and round we go. Every week it's another shit show. Sunday Night Raw. Step into the fight. Microphones blazing in the neon light. Sunday Night Raw. Everybody's talking fast, but at the end of the day, though, it's all bollocks, mate. Panels packed with mystery men, talking circles again and again. Perspective density, do your own research. Meanwhile, somebody's eating crisps in a t-shirt. Spooky soundtrack creeping in like a low-budget horror film. But every claim falls right apart the moment someone asks, "Where's your map?" Cue the music, cue the chaos, cue somebody yelling over everyone else. Right, hold on. 2 points of rotation. No, let him answer. Freddy, shut the fuck up a minute! Explain sunsets. Sunday Night Raw. The chaos never stops. Every claim gets body slammed from the top. Sunday Night Raw. Everybody talks so fast, but at the end of the day, though, it's all bollocks, innit? Sunday Night Raw. Sunday Night Raw.
And now, from the mean streets of Essex, England, this is WhatKast.
Hello all, how's it going? This is WhatKast Sunday Night Raw. This is Matt, and I've never before been in a situation. Adjust this a little bit. I've never before been in a situation where like this. I always intended on doing these Sunday nights like I've got no idea what I'm gonna do. But usually I've got a bit of an idea what I'm gonna do. But tonight I ain't got any clue what I'm gonna do. So what I thought I would do is some bloke called Levi, not the jeans, some rando on the Talk of Tick. The last time I went live, I've been doing lots of test lives this week to try and figure out the issues I was having with it. I think I might be there. I'm not sure. I've got another camera set up here just in case. But when we go live over there, we'll see. I've got a few things to try, but hopefully it'll be all right. Dave, I messaged you on the Discord earlier on. I've got some bloke that says he can debunk space, and I thought, bring Dave on. Dave will do it. So Dave, if you're not busy, come on up to help me do this, right? Or when I say come up to help me do this, what I mean is come up and do this, right? I haven't got a clue. So, what was I saying? Yeah. So I usually haven't got I've usually got a bit of a plan, but today I ain't got much of a plan, right? So I'm just gonna do this and then go and Flurf hunt if we get the super chat goal. Right, super chat goal is set for the hunting of Flurf. This guy Levi says, he messaged me and he says, please, I'll read out what he said, right? Because it was a bit cheesy and crap. Like these people think, like these people talk to you and they think you've never done your own research. So they just message you because they think they're helping you, right? And I think this poor guy, he's never looked into flat Earth. So I will help him out. So where's Levi then? There he is, Levi Miller. His name is. Says, can you look at my research? And he sent me a website, a site of web, and it's called shapedebate.com. But the actual slash he's given me is space dash travel, right? So that's what I've gone on to. So I'm either going to, so either someone can jump up and go through this with me, someone that knows a bit about space, because most people know I ain't got a single fucking clue about it. I couldn't give a single fuck about space, right? It's bollocks. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not interested in it. It's a bit shit. Talking about nothingness, not really my cup of tea. Arguing with flat earthers, my cup of tea, right? So someone can come up if you want to debunk this Levi, because he's literally sent me a website. It's funny, I'm not a debunker. He's literally sent me a website and I've not even gone through it yet, but it starts with a quote from the Armstrong of Neil, right? And it sets the tone. I don't know what else is there, but it says watch all these videos. But it's got lots of. Let's bring it up rather than just talking about it, right? That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? So there it is. This is humanity has invested. Hang on, let's make this a bit shorter here for everybody to be able to see it properly. A bit narrower. Humanity has invested, whatever that is. There's something free, so that's 33 for a start. So Mason's confirmed there, right? Into space. Watch all of the videos below and decide if you want a refund. This is what he says, right? And then he puts a quote here. It says, today we have with us a group of students among America's best. To you we say, we have only accomplished a beginning. We leave you much that is undone. There are great ideas undiscovered. Breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers. Now, for some reason, to a flat earther, I'll put it in the chat, Dave, all right? For some reason, for someone that's a flat earther, that is a really deep and what Armstrong, what Neil Legsweek should have done when he said that. So if he really wanted people to listen to him, he should have said it like with this being the background. Not that. That. Right, should have said that with that. That's what I thought. The first person I thought of was the McKeegan of Dave, right? So I'm going to quickly get the link up here. Get him up. Is it that one? That is the one. So hopefully he can join this time. And also Flurfs joined this link as well. Right. I will pin it. There you go, Dave. That is for you and any flat earthers in the house, like the Wayne of Dick or any of these dickheads, right? Yeah, legs weak. Hello, Jimmy. So the usual rules with this. So we've got the hour of doing this, and then potentially the hour and a bit of the flurf hunting if we hit the super chat target. Super chat target, memberships count. Super chats count, and buymeacoffee.com/whatcast count. Everything counts towards it, right? So I'd give Dave a minute to get up here before I start going through this, because I've got Maya. Look at this. I've got Maya as standby. So what I might do is if McKeegan starts talking bollocks, I'll get Maya to check him out, like to correct him. Well, that's my plan anyway. Let's get a box up here. Is it that one? Yeah, I've got to reorganise this like I did the other day with when Dan come up. shrink me down a bit. Shrink you guys down a bit. Bring it up. Bring it there. Shrink this down a bit. Should have prepared all this first, but you know. Can't be asked, can I? Got to get the pimping in somewhere. And there's a bit of legs weak at the bottom there. So Dave can be up there in the corner. Right. So let's start going through this then anyway. Do you actually get coffee when someone buys you? No, it's beers. So if you look at buymeacoffee.com/whatcast, it's like £5 a beer, which is a beer price, right? So basically it just says someone bought you a beer. If people buy beers there, it says someone bought you a beer. You can buy as many beers there as you want. Only grab. 100%. What the fuck else? What the fuck else are YouTubers doing if it ain't for money? I'm sure Dave McKeegan just does his channel because he wants to, right? So let's get on with this then. So that's the thing that's supposed to get. Someone's finding yeah, me obviously. Someone's finding legs weak funny. It was funny. So moon landing research, right? So we've got all the aspects they didn't have time to show you in history class. American moon documentary, how to fake 130,000 miles of space travel, and deathbed confession. Right, so this is what they're claiming. Yeah, right. So let's get rid of this down here. Dave, if you're there, because I know you had problems last time you tried to come up. If you're there, I cannot see you there. Right, I'm going to turn it off and on again. That's what I did last time. So this is, you know, when people speak about the moon landing and they bang on about, yeah, look how miserable they looked there. Right, that proves it. That proves they didn't go. They looked miserable. That's the evidence that they say. So he's sharing that picture. All the people that travel to Vegas. I don't know. I'm trying to follow the chat and do this. Undeniable. I deny it. Undeniable ISS fakery. This includes acrobat wires, right? Green screen errors, transparent astronauts, overlay errors, CGI errors, anomalous gravity, augmented reality interaction, mistakes, background not synced with the foreground, many examples of bubbles during spacewalks, and astronauts almost drowning in their own suits. You will need some popcorn for this one, it says. The corn of pop. Give me some corn of pop over here, and we'll. I think these are links to click on. I'm not going to click any of them yet. I'll go through them with Dave if he comes up. You only have 10 minutes. Watch it. I've only got 10 minutes. I'll just watch the 10-minute one when I get to it. So that is a what? Ah, this is perfect. Look, I didn't even scroll down this. Look at this. Was the final experiment faked in 2024? This will be a good one. There are 10 solid reasons to be highly suspicious of the 360 degrees sun observation. My book. See, this guy, Levi, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of this bloke. It says waiting for host. See, I don't know why it does that, Dave. Let me try a different link. I don't know why you have that issue with it. There's only one link. Let's try a different. I think this might be a different link. Let's try this link. I don't know if it's different or the same. Play. Ah, he's got it. We're there. Let's get him up. Guess one. Hello, sir. You all right?
There we are. Can you hear me?
I do. You hear me all right?
Yeah.
Good. Right, so this guy knows that you faked the TFE in 2024 as well. I don't know if he was banging on about space, but he's got you rumbled, my friend.
Oh, shit.
I know. What you got to say for yourself? Come on, make your excuses before we go into this.
Things because nutter.
There you go. See, very convincing. Got me. Try again with the music.
What, a nutter? Because nutter?
Right, now I believe you. Right. So we'll start with the space shit that he's talking about. I'm going to click on some of his links and see where they take us. Right. So this bloke, he's claiming this is his website. Levi, the fuck was his name? Miller. Levi Miller. Anyone ever heard of Levi Miller? Is he like a fluff from anywhere? No? I've never heard of him. He sent me the message last time I was live. So what do you know what is before I click any of this, do you know what American Moon documentary is?
American Moon documentary. Yeah, there was a document, typical same old bullshit week in, week out. I can't remember who made it. It was I think it was Masio Masumo. I think that might be the one. Very much like Bart Cybrell, where it's all just debunked 101 times over shit. So,
what's the deathbed confession?
That's a Bart Cybrell load of shit. That is what Bart Cybrell claims is somebody with a deathbed confession video, except when you actually watch it, this guy is the one who's dying. But it wasn't him who supposedly saw them being faked. It was his dad. And his version of events goes, his dad watched it being faked, killed somebody who was going to be, who was apparently giving up on trying to keep the secret. So this guy's dad killed him. Then on his deathbed, felt so guilty that he made a deathbed video confessing it all. But then didn't do anything with the video. And then many years later, the video got lost in a house fire. So he has no deathbed confession video, just he says he had one but no longer does, and decided not to say anything until he himself was dying, made the video, gave it to Bart Cybrell, and said, don't publish this until after I've died.
Right, why is it that they just accept that the fire and all that must be real? Like, whenever they say...
There is actually a website that details... I can't remember, Eugene Akers, I think, is his dad. And there's a website that details it all and goes in and finds all the information about this guy and his dad. And his dad was... within the military, I think, but he wasn't stationed at Cannon Air Force Base like this guy suggests, or wasn't there during the times that it was supposedly taking place. He was stationed elsewhere. This guy did have a house fire, but there's elements
so
of it
is
that
this
are true.
bloke?
So this bloke, I can't remember if this is Eugene Akers or if it was his dad that's Eugene Akers, and I can't remember this guy.
Shall I watch it for a second and see what he says?
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Gene Gilmore. My birth given name is Eugene Reuben Akers. I don't want any money for what I'm doing because hopefully this video won't come out until after my death. So I have nothing to gain, nothing to profit by telling you what I'm going to tell you. And a lot of what I'm going to tell you is available online until they see this video. And I'm sure things will start getting scrubbed.
Other than this, which is available to me right now to watch. That's how hidden it is. So it is the Akers bloke that you was talking about, right?
Yeah, so that's Eugene Akers. I can't remember his dad's name.
This is from Bart Cybrell, yeah? .com.
Yeah.
Right.
As well as moon photos. But anyway. My father, in 1968, was stationed at Cannon Air Force Base in New Mexico. I made notes on my computer so that I wouldn't forget anything because there's a lot of little things and stuff that I forget. So these notes were made a long time ago. The original recording that my father made on his deathbed was destroyed in a fire. So this is my deathbed confession because now I'm dying of cancer and I've got cancer all over the place, and they don't know where it's coming from, and I don't know if they can stop it, but they don't look.
Get on with it, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, he rambles.
Right, what shall I'll do? Jump to about here, I think.
To go flying around to a different landing area that almost exhausted their fuel, except for drama, because everything had gone so smoothly. Nothing, so it had to be something. Anyway, Dad was one of 3 guards that guarded the inside of the front entrance. There was a list of 15 people who could enter. No one else was allowed by order of President Johnson. And here is that list, and I gave it to Bart Seibel as well. And he checked out a lot of these names, and he says he can verify a lot of these people and what they do.
What's he saying here? A list of who for what?
So it's supposedly that his dad was one of the security guards at Cannon Air Force Base, which is where they supposedly faked the moon landings. And his dad had a list of these 15 people who were the only people who were allowed to go and witness it being faked. Aside from obviously the giant ass film crew that would have to be there as well.
Obviously. Fuck's sake. You know what, absolutely humiliates me a little bit? I used to believe all of this. I was one of them people that just thought that it's for some reason, it's very persuasive when someone goes, "Oh, you don't believe all that, do you?" And then gives you some shit reasons why you shouldn't. If you've never looked at it before, you just start to think, did I just accept all of this from them? And even with Flat Earth, even with Flat Earth, I was still not convinced about whether the moon landing was real at the beginning. Even when I started laughing at Flat Earthers, I was still like, moon landing though. But then you go on and you get in these debates and you just you listen to evidence and you think, fuck, how lazy was I to not have just listened to this?
Funnily enough, that's exactly what Jaron went through.
Yeah.
So Jaron obviously flipped on Flat Earth, and then I said to him, "Well, let's sit down and talk about the moon landings then," because he had plenty of chats with me on the trip and realized I'm not the twat he thought I was. So he was clearly really unsure on the moon landings, much like you were. And then it was only when he then said, okay, opened it to his audience and said, give me whatever your best arguments are and I'll take them to Dave. He wanted everybody's help. And he would 6 or 7 streams, he was asking for everybody's help. And then he came onto stream with me and he was like, actually kind of embarrassed because pretty much everyone was just like, well, of course it's fake because just look at it. And he's like, well, that's not evidence. That's just your opinion. And it was only then when he started to realize that actually we don't have any arguments. It's just personal incredulity.
Yeah, that's right. There is no arguments when you actually look. Like people say, oh, they left the camera behind. Who was the first man on the moon? The cameraman and all this, the same old shit. But when you have never looked at it, the first thing you think is, actually, how did they do that? And you don't bother searching for the reasons why. You just think that's a bit weird.
No,
can't believe I fell for that. And then later on, it's like, oh, fucking hell, this has been absolutely duped. I don't think I can watch this guy, so I'm just going to move on to the next thing because it's boring.
Yeah, it falls apart. There is a website, and I'll have to find it. I covered it all in one of my videos and linked the website to wherever it was. He says he gave a specific date, and he said this is the date that it was faked, and the president was there to witness it being happening. Except the president's diary logs are all publicly available, showing he was nowhere near that Air Force base during that time. He was off on whatever the presidential ranch is, and there's videos of him from that break that he was on. So he was never at the Air Force base to begin with. But it's one of those that just because he puts this compelling argument of, oh yeah, my dad saw this, and why would my dad lie? So Probably your dad didn't lie. Your dad never said it in the first place. You're just making shit up.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I got to get these super chats done then, because we've got our first three on the way to the talk of tick. So we've got Cleavage K here. Cleavage K then says, because McKeegan and Matt could be on TikTok after this. I don't know if McKeegan will be on there. You can come on there if you want, Dave. I'll leave you in the box here, and you'll be able to talk to this dickhead. It's up to you. And Unfornicated says, what's that say? Schrodinger's evidence. All evidence is hidden except that found online by truthers and everyone else who looks. Exactly.
Yeah, it's like LEO and his rare NASA space footage that every fucker's seen already.
Yeah. Quick, watch this before it gets taken down. Posted 6 years ago. You say shit like that, right? Dan again here, Unfornicated, says, remember Sibrel says he was kidnapped by the CIA, escaped and got away by running down the road in his underwear. Is that what he said? Is that genuinely his story?
Something along those lines, yeah. I mean, it varies from time to time, but he loves saying this in podcasts. He goes on about how the CIA have killed all these people who were supposedly behind the moon landings. The CIA have just, no questions asked, no nothing, no drama, just like bang, gone, they've disappeared or killed in a crash or whatever. And then because Cybrel was apparently making this documentary and poking around his nose into things, they kidnapped him, held him hostage, drugged him, didn't just, knock him out, didn't just like sort of end him right there and then and just walk away. No, make a big song and dance of kidnapping and held hostage, drugged. Then he managed to escape, took a urine sample for himself and gave it to somebody he knows at a laboratory to see what they drugged him with. But then amazingly, the laboratory that night got broken into, and the only thing stolen was his urine sample.
Oh, God, yeah. Obviously.
Yeah. It's probably like Bart Cybrel and most of the ones like that are probably what Jay from the In-Betweeners will be like when he's older.
I don't know whether to click on any of these other ones because that was piss boring, that one, and these look even longer. Let's have a look at this. How to fake 130,000 miles of space travel.
Fucking hell. This guy, fucking my arse reason. This is another Cybrel claim. One that I have fucking debunked. One that Cybrel has watched both of my...
Okay, you just explain it then rather than me clicking on it, because I'd rather you explain it than me watch some boring twat talking in 1 mile an hour speech.
Right, so Cybrel says there's a TV broadcast of Apollo 11 where they show the Earth from 130,000 miles away, and then the camera zooms out, the window goes, the whole thing goes brighter, and Cybrel claims that you can see the Earth huge out the window, so therefore they can't be 130,000 miles away. They've got to be right in low Earth orbit, and that's how they're faking it. Not faking it in a studio. He agrees they went to space, but they were just in low Earth orbit. All right, that's his claim. There's so many problems with it, like the fact that when you're watching the Earth to begin with, there's a solid 10 minutes uncut view of the Earth. The clouds don't move at all. You watch footage from the ISS for 10 minutes, you're over a completely different part of the Earth 10 minutes later. So it can't be low Earth orbit. That right there ends it.
Yeah.
But then the end of the broadcast, which is half an hour later, they go back to the window, view the Earth again. Not only do you see them take the camera to the window and then zoom in and you can see the Earth fucking nowhere near the window, like it's way off in the distance, they zoom back in and the clouds have rotated slightly, about 7.5 degrees. But Cybrel's claim is that they were in low Earth orbit and they just had this cutout on the window to make it look like a small Earth from really far away. The whole thing falls apart. Right. Yeah, there's so many problems with how it would actually...
Was that something funny happened on the way to the moon? Or is that what that was called? Something like
that. That's like kind of... that's his documentary, and it basically takes up about half that documentary is him detailing how they supposedly faked being halfway to the moon. I did two videos detailing all the problems with it and how, if that's what they'd actually done, how it would really look and how that looks nothing like the footage, and showed a bunch of other video clips that he failed to pick up on TV broadcasts from Apollo 11 as well as Apollo 10, where you see the Earth in the window, no cutouts, cabin's all really clear and everything. Like, it's just, he's just cherry picked the one clip that he can make appear like it's faked. And Bart commented on both of those videos, so I know he's watched them. He had no rebuttals to any of the points I made. He just linked to a different video showing clips of Russia using an AI tool to supposedly say that the pictures are fake. I'm like, right, deflection then.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just this is not top flight research. This is basically regurgitating somebody
Yeah, well,
else.
they all say that. This is the flat Earth thing. This is my research. What they mean is I've watched some videos and here they all are. Not someone else done
Yeah,
this.
wouldn't surprise me if it's a Dubay video next.
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to watch any of those. Let's go down to the next thing. So there's the miserable faces. That definitely proves it because that didn't look. They wasn't excited, so they definitely didn't go.
No, they wouldn't pick. They wouldn't pick any of the screenshots from that same one where they're all laughing and joking, would they?
No. The same as I don't watch any of the little girl talking to. Is it Buzz Aldrin or is it Neil Armstrong when he says
yeah. Even though that's not what he says, and what he says.
No, he says it.
It's
the context of we didn't go back, right?
Yeah, not that we didn't go back, but then he also tells the same girl he's been on the moon, and in the same group of interviews, he tells some other kids and details how he went to the moon. So yeah, cherry picking 101.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So undeniable ISS fakery. Acrobat wires, green screen errors, transparent astronauts, overlay errors, CGI errors, anomalous gravity, augmented reality interaction mistakes, background not synced with the foreground, many examples of bubbles during spacewalks and astronauts almost drowning in their own suits. You will need some popcorn for this one. Right, so this is, he says 2 hours, but then if you only got 10 minutes, watch this. So let's put the 10 minutes one on then. Because I'm sure this would be devastating for you, and I want to see how you handle it. Right? I don't know what's going on here. Historical space missions that expose space.
That looks like an LEO.
It
fucking is.
What's that?
It's Level Earth Observer.
Ah, is that who that was?
Yeah, it's one of LEO's videos.
It's littered with gems. First up, we're going to join the action just before the first rocket boosters are jettisoned. I'm going to highlight the curve. And then from the same camera, a few seconds later, it would seem NASA are going to flatten the curve. Very strange. So we'll look at the jettison first, and then I'll come back to you.
Cheers.
And standing by for separation of the solid rocket boosters.
Now, solid rocket boosters have just been jettisoned. Please take note of the camera, where it is in relation to the shuttle and on the booster. And of course, take note of the curvature bottom left from this camera, okay?
Orbiter is now traveling 3,200 miles per hour downrange.
Now that orbiter was travelling 3,200 miles an hour. It would literally be leaving the camera we're viewing this from at nearly a mile per second. That would be 0.8 of a mile per second. Do you think that thing is travelling nearly a mile per second away from the camera?
50 miles,
yes,
altitude 37 miles, all systems in good shape.
I think it's not travelling at those ridiculous speeds. But anyway, we're back here.
Endeavour, Press D'Amico and single engine Zaragoza, 104. Roger, Press D'Amico, single engine Zaragoza, 104.
Several calls there. Endeavour can reach a safe orbit on...
Again, please note the curvature still from the same camera.
2 engines now. The guidance system is controlling the engines to roll Endeavour to a heads-up position to optimize the
Note the curve.
ground communications through the satellite network.
Noted.
Boom! Same camera, but NASA have just flattened the curve. So
Right. So, why would they do that if that was fake? So if they're not there, like that does nothing these people say makes any sense. So if they can make it look curved and create this video out of nothing, why would they on the next frame have a flat horizon?
Because they just go with, oh well, obviously NASA made a mistake. They've been doing this, supposedly faking spake for decades, but amateur error 101. Basically LEO can't figure out what a fisheye lens is or why they would have these cameras. I think they I don't know whether it's just they don't think or whether they are so self-obsessed that they think NASA put these cameras on the rockets for the purpose of trying to prove the shape of the Earth.
Yeah. I remember when I was speaking to Spurs Chemo and he said to me, the Chinese space station, look, they flattened it out and whatever. And then Josh come on, do you know Hasselblad on TikTok, who's a photographer, and he's like, that was a 360 camera or whatever, and that's like he was explaining why that would happen, and all the Spurs Chemo, or Gas Pressure he calls himself now, sat there doing the fake snoring, like, this is a boring explanation. Yeah, but it's still the explanation. Like, do you fucking care or not? Are you just? But he's never used it since, so obviously.
No, the point of these cameras, because they've got this camera and they put them on the rockets and on the boosters as well. They're engineering cameras. They're not for the fucking audience. They're for the engineers to monitor the spacecraft. They never
understand, do they? They think that every time they go to space, they're trying to prove something to a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah,
and they keep failing.
The people who are really like the target audience for these cameras in reality are the engineers who are watching exactly what is happening to the shuttle, not going, oh, look at the curved horizon.
Yeah. That was a great Wallace and Gromit you just did there, guys. That was fantastic.
I'm sure I could do better.
I'll just be silent and be Gromit. Right, so what we got here? Kidnapper. So Wow Panties with the super chat here for the $5, for the $4.99 says, dads don't lie. It just takes a really, really, really long time to get milk and cigarettes from the store. FYI, Shark Week starts July 26th. Oh, fucking hell. Be there for Shark Week. He's obsessed with sharks, this bloke. They're called Wow Panties. I don't really understand what's going on there. Max for some Uruguayan sex, I think that is. So we've got to play a bit of fox pong. I don't know what the Uruguayan money's called, but it can just be sex. So super chat from Max says, 2 of my favourite Brits. Let's fucking go. Yeah. What do you mean 2 of? Who else is in the running for that? I don't even know who else could possibly be in the running for favourite Brits. There is only 2. So Unfornicated says, what?
I'm sure Simon, Dan and Craig and
Creaky
will be thrilled to hear you say that.
Creaky's Welsh, you don't count. That's some little shit thing on the edge of England. Who gives a fuck about Wales? Right, so
do you know how you piss off a Welshman?
Go on.
Refer to England as the mainland.
Well, yeah, of course. It fucking is. Wales is shit though. Like, when you go to Wales, they've got their own language that no one can speak, including them. And like, even in the road where it says slow, what does it say instead? It says some weird word.
A raff.
Yes, a raff. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck that was. A raff? You're having a raff. So Unfornicated says, best Buzz Aldrin clip is when he punches Sabrell. Yeah. Is that how he hit Sabrell? Ah. Bit of a shit punch though, wasn't it? Mind you, he is 107. You got to get done his best with that punch.
Yeah.
And then just that was it. And then JD for the 50 quid. Cheers, JD. Says England. Did you watch the game, Dave?
I did, yeah. It's fucking hell. I was convinced probably about 10-15 minutes into the second half when Norway were all over us. I was like, we've just gone to shit here.
Yeah, I know.
I was convinced we were going home. I think Christ Bellingham was on form. So it's going to be really interesting to see how we get on playing against FIFA on Wednesday.
Yeah, I know, but they've had a really easy run, haven't they? Argentina.
Well,
so
yeah,
far.
it's always fucking easy when the referee's there on your side.
Yeah, I know. I think they're trying to make it like you're not turning into a conspiracy theorist, are you, Dave?
Do you know what? I'm half joking, half serious. It's like I try to debunk obviously conspiracy theories and not fall into that trap, but it is like really fucking weird when you've got pictures of the president of FIFA in an Argentine shirt. You've got FIFA turning around and removing the one match ban for the US's player.
Yeah.
Because Buddy Trump gives a call.
Yeah.
Most red cards are a one match ban. They give our guy a 2-match ban.
Yeah.
And strangely, what's the second match that he would be banned for? The semi-final that we might be playing against Argentina.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Did you see the latest one, though, where they're saying that our goal shouldn't be allowed because it hit the camera wire thing?
Technically, I think by the rules, if the ball hits the aerial camera, which it definitely looks like it did, they should stop play and do just a drop ball. But for whatever reason, they didn't pick up on it and let play carry on.
The ball didn't pick it up. These super sensitive balls didn't detect any impact of anything.
Yeah, that's because I'd say it's a load of bollocks that these super sensitive balls can pick up hitting a human hair. I'm like,
that's what I was saying. A human hair, yeah. What about an animal hair? Just human. Do you think that the ball could turn? Yeah, maybe a foot. Do you reckon the victim said, "No, that's a cat hair. We're not picking that up." Like, how would it know it was a human? Why they got to specify human hair? Like that's the weakest thing in life. Just got to say it's a human hair. Right, cheers, JD. I really, really, really appreciate that, mate. So that was the hang on a minute. That was the 10 quid. Where's my 5 times? Like fucking too many sound bites here. £10.
5 times!
5 times! Cheers, mate. Appreciate that. Right, let's watch a bit more of this bollocks and then we'll go on to the next claim.
So they got further away from Earth and it seems to have got flatter and flatter. Strange. Well, this is them supposedly going to meet, rendezvous with the ISS, but what we actually get to see is some even rarer footage of the toy model ISS. Never seen before, but incredibly revealing as we look at this toy model ISS up close. And if you can't see this, is a toy model. If you can't grasp this, this is on you, I'm afraid.
To the International Space Station.
Okay. I'm going to go 4.5.
Come on, guys. Be serious with yourself now. Looking at this. This is up close and personal with a toy model ISS.
Is he saying the ISS isn't real? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course he is.
What do they think?
I don't know what that... I don't know. I mean, all he cares about is demonstrable reality. Yeah. I photographed the fucking thing, but he still couldn't say what it is.
He's been in my chat a few times. He's been here for a while, though.
He seems to have vanished. He's not put any videos up for a while either.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see. I'm going to scroll down because I'm curious about the TFA claims that he's making. There you go. Was the final experiment faked in 2024? Do you reckon they actually went, Dave? Do you reckon they went?
I don't know. 50-50 on it.
Yeah, me too. Not sure I trust any of them dodgy characters.
No, they're all wankers.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Right, so there are 10 solid reasons to be highly suspicious of the 360 degrees sun observation. Do you know who made that observation, Dave? I don't know.
I don't know. Some bell end with a dog, apparently.
Yeah. My book, Globe Deconstruction, offers a comprehensive... So he's saying this is his book. So shall I click on his book and see what it is for a laugh? I can't click on it. I wonder if this book exists. Globe Deconstruction. I wonder where you can get that book. Small sample of TFE fakery. Why not? Let's have that. Antarctica or a studio. What's he actually showing?
Oh, lens flare and mini clouds, a perfect match. also known as doesn't know how a camera works.
Yeah. So what's he even suggesting here? I don't even know what
So
he's saying.
because it's showing the same lens flare at the start of the clip and at the end of the clip hasn't quite worked out. It's because the camera hasn't moved, so of course you would see the same patterns when the light source is in the same spot.
Yeah. So that's the first piece of evidence he gives. They're just showing that over and over again. So that's blocks. So what's his next piece of evidence? That was a sample. Why did they feel the need to fake in 2016 and 2019? What does that mean?
They didn't. This will probably be the clips of, probably Anthony Powell's clips.
Hello, everyone. Please excuse my voice today as I am recovering from a cold.
Oh, God.
Don't you miss the days when you could have a cold and no one cared? I'm actually missing a family wedding today because of it. Anyways, in my last video, someone who is probably a globe troll left a comment about the alleged 24-hour Antarctic sun and a link to a video supposedly proving its existence. I clicked on the link, but I totally forgot that I debunked this video years ago in my last channel. I guess my memory isn't as good as it used to be. But I'm guessing quite a few of you have also forgotten about it or have never seen it. A big thanks to Flat Earth and Coffee's channel, who recently shared my old video. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, you must, and the link will be in the description. So what you're watching is the alleged proof of the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. It's a 24-hour time-lapse appearing to show the sun traveling around in a big circle and staying above the horizon for 24 hours. It looks pretty good. The shadows match well, the lighting seems right, the video seems pretty convincing. And the clouds don't repeat 24 hours later like they did in this video, where the exact same cloud pattern repeats a day later.
What was their claim on that then? So what was their issue with those two?
So I can't remember the claim on the first clip. I'll have to get onto that. The one with the second claim and the repeating clouds is Anthony Powell shot at, I think it was about 36 hours that he shot the sun for. But in the documentary, he wanted it to be a 24-hour loop, but he wanted it to start and end at the same point so it could play like an infinite loop. So he actually cut the middle of the clip and then put the clip sort of back to back, if you like. So the start of the clip and at the end of the clip, it's actually the same point.
Right.
Done on purpose from a filmmaker's perspective, not thinking flat earth this, flat earth that. He just did it artistically for the documentary, but obviously flat earthers jump all over that. Anthony Powell then released, or elsewhere had put up, the full original 36-hour video showing like 1.5 times round, showing not the same clouds and it staying above the horizon. But, let's not talk about that one.
No. Well, of course, like you would. I don't know, like whether you're just popping in and out of when I go live on TikTok and stuff, but like they'll come in with all of their claims, and sometimes I'll say what's to me the most obvious response to their claim, and they've really never heard that response before, or that claim. Like if I was to say anything about star rotations, they've never heard it. Like these flat earthers, they are so sure of their position that they never just do videos debunking the globe's claims. They always
that's the thing. It's like, but then I suppose it's one of those where, and I think you see it sometimes when you see flat earthers, they go, some of the flat earthers, and they go into unrelated Discord servers, or you get like a complete nobody coming on who just thinks as flat earth as a joke, but hasn't really thought about how things work on the globe that much, because it's just day-to-day life. You don't think about it. And then, flat earth turns around and goes, okay, well, how do you know the earth's a globe? Or how do you know this? How do you know that?
Yeah.
And people don't know the answer for it. And I think that's the problem, is as soon as they start to go, oh, actually, I don't know, suddenly the shit on flat earth starts to make sense to them in a way, which is what hopefully flat earth Dave's whole philosophy is, to prey on the clueless.
Yeah, but they really don't like. There was a guy the other day popped on. I was only on for a minute. I was just doing one of my fucking lag tests, But he just requested, so I let him on, and then he said to me, "I want you to show me a ball that with water sticking to it." And I said, "I can't show you that because the ball we're standing on will pull all of the water off of the little bowl." And he went, "Oh, you don't know what you're fucking talking about," and just left. Like that. Like I can't. I can't show you that unless you get an Earth-sized Earth next to the Earth that we can point at and say, "Look, it's sticking to it."
But they don't think about that, or they just, or it's the same with the wankers who say, "Oh, show me everyone upside down in Australia."
Yes, yeah, I know.
And I'll be like, I'm just at a point where I'm like, okay, yeah, and I'll just give them a picture like Sydney Opera House, but I'll flip it upside down and go, there you go.
Yeah. I know. They don't even know what they want. Because say for instance that was possible, and you could go out and show people, like you'd obviously have to reference yourself with Australia still upside down from space, zoom in if it was possible, and people would appear to be upside down. They'd go, yeah, as if that happens, as if that's real, as if that's not CGI.
Yeah.
So absolutely no point anyway. Why are you asking for it? Yeah. Right. So we've got Brandon here. Brandon just given 23 memberships. Brandon, Fucking hell. Brandon, thank you. Brandon's very generous these days. Appreciate you, Brandon. If you just got a free membership, that is from Brandon. Please thank him. Some people are probably only in it. And Taboo Conspiracy is a fucking wanker, says unfornicated. Right? Correct. I've never spoken to this. Is this the person whose video this is? Taboo Conspiracy. A lot of these people were before my time.
I don't think he ever really did I don't think he ever really did live streams either, or I didn't see him on any. It was usually videos, but he's disappeared as well.
Like I said, that there was a mass exodus. Yeah, I said that. I said that the other day. I said on a TikTok that there's been a mass exodus from Flat Earth, and this bird was in there giving it. That's a lie. You're lying. You're such a liar. Who's paying you to lie? And I'm thinking, lie. Your world is on TikTok with these bunch of fucking idiots that don't accept anything. But all of the original Flat Earthers that got this ball rolling, how many of them are actually left now? Sergeant and Weiss, isn't it?
Yeah, there was a channel that I had a bit of back and forth with a couple of years ago called Don't Sphere the Truth. Yeah. And he tried to debunk a few of my videos, and I made some videos basically showing he's clueless, doesn't know what he's talking about, and all his arguments actually point towards the globe. And then it was after TFE, and he did one video that was about the sunspots, but didn't really, I don't think it really went into much detail other than just looking at the sunspots that I'd got. And then the last thing he posted was a YouTube post saying he'd removed his last video that was supposedly debunking MC Toon because he hadn't been aware of, I can't remember what it was. I think it was that he didn't realize that the video, he thought, the sundial video that Toon did with the 360 camera.
Yeah.
He thought that was being shot at the same time that we were shooting the 360s of the sun. Didn't realize that Toon's one was set up after we'd finished all of ours. So once that got pointed out to him, he removed the video. That was over a year ago. He's not posted a single thing since.
No.
He's just fucking vanished.
But you know why, this guy's presenting all this evidence at 24/7. I don't really care about any of that. You know why I know you're lying, Dave? It's because none of you phoned Steve. So I don't believe anything you say until someone phones Steve.
What could I say? I couldn't get a reception in the airport hangar.
No. Only one way to... Oh, hang on a minute. What's he saying here? Only one way to find out. I think it's time we go back to Antarctica. What is this supposed to be? Do you know what that's supposed to be?
Well, that appears to be the sun behind a post because they don't comprehend.
Is this going to be that one where they think that there's someone in front of Toon's head?
No, kind of similar to that, I think. But this is the Anthony Powell video, and I'm sure Anthony said when the sun goes behind the lamp, behind the post, is when they actually put the cut in to make the looping thing. But it'll probably be another one of those. Yeah, they don't realize just how small the sun actually is in the sky. They because they haven't factored in the rest of it's all glare.
Well, it's just above your head anyway, so it should be. I just wanted you have to dodge it when you was on your way there, for fuck's sake. So, Billionaire Jim for $5 says upside down equals walking on your head with your feet sticking up in the air. Exactly right. That would be upside down. Down is there for everybody. Upside down is walking on your head in Australia. This is another thing they don't.
Blue is in the fucking name.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what else they've got here then. I think you have two options. Number one, trust Elon. You can tell it's real because it looks so fake. Or two, use demonstrable science for verification. No faith required. Why are you anti-science then? If that's
or three, both the above.
Yeah. What? So is that Elon's car?
Yeah, that's the Tesla that he launched into space.
Right. Ready to demonstrate the truth with science? Download? No, I'm good. I'm not going to download that. Watch debate with PhD in mathematical physics. Debate I've got to click on that and see who's debating a PhD. Who is SOD?
Sod? No idea.
This specific part of the book is not ready yet. Please subscribe. Join mailing list. Well, where is the debate? Watch debate. I just clicked that. Let's do it again. Take me to the same thing. Well, there's no debate with a PhD then.
I have to say, this is a fucking brilliant website.
Yeah, I hope he comes on today on the TikTok. Levi, if he comes into my thing, I'm gonna laugh my bollocks off. If that was his evidence, Levi Miller, a name to be feared, the Miller of Levi. What are we doing? And we've got 5 more minutes left on the goal. We're pretty much there, I think, with all of the JD's massive amounts and the 20 gift memberships. So it's looking good.
Levi Miller sounds like a failed X Factor contestant.
He does. Or a pair of shit jeans and beer at the same time. Does Miller Lite still exist, by the way?
Don't know, my head went to Muller Lite, but that's a yogurt.
No, that's Muller. It's all that. Remember the Miller girls?
That's what I said.
Yeah. It was a big thing in America, but I don't know whether they still exist. Miller Lite, I don't like any of that bollocks anyway. If I go on to TikTok, do you mind? Would you hang around and talk to those people?
I can try for a bit if I can stay awake.
Yeah, I don't know if they're better to hear you, but I'll try it. It might not even work, but once we log on there, I'll see if it does. We've got 5 more minutes on the goal. So, anything else you want to add about this devastating website?
It's shit.
Let's quickly see. I want to see the wires. I'm going to click on this one and flick through it because I want to see some of the wires shit. Space fakery. Oh my god, they always put that up, don't they, to try and make...
Any conspiracy theorists out there, how would you prove to us that you're in zero gravity?
Right, fuck off with the music. Right, they always use stuff that gets you demonetized because they're fucking stupid. If you believe NASA was telling the truth, you're about to change your mind. Bear that in mind, Dave.
Oh, okay.
You're going to be a conspiracy theorist by the end of this video. You'll be putting out NASA is a lie. NASA means to deceive in Hebrew. It will be the name of the next video. I don't know what they're supposed to be showing here. So what's wrong with any of this? Not astronauts. He's disappearing. Oh, they're saying that he's like ghosted through the door there.
Yeah, because they... Yeah. So... What they don't show is on the zoomed out shot, you can also see there's a bunch of other stuff that fades as well because it's like they've cut a section out and blended it. Yeah, I think I debunked that one fucking 2 years ago.
So it's not a disappearing astronaut or a ghost then?
No, there's a load of other stuff in the shot that disappears as well, but obviously they don't point the arrows to all that because they only want you to pay attention to the person.
Max is saying Astronomy Live tracked the Tesla.
Yeah, I think he did the yeah, he's tracked quite a few bloody things to be fair. Yeah, I can't Yeah, he did.
Right, let's watch some more bollocks. What's this one? So what are they doing then?
Space stations orbiting scientifically impossible balls. Ridiculous. So take it away, Victor. Like I say, pay particular attention to Victor, the camera, and the camera's interaction with the bar on the wall to the left of the entrance as he comes out.
In 45 minutes. Keep you up to date in case that changes.
You ready? Now, straight through. And again. Watch Victor's camera and the lens cut straight through that metal bar.
In case that changes.
And again. Straight through. Once.
Explain that one, McKeegan.
What the fuck's he even talking about anyway?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you to explain it, because I hoped you'd seen it before. Straight through.
I can only assume he's talking about the bald guy in the center of frame who's got a camera in his right hand, and I'm assuming the metal bar he's referring to is the edge of the hatch that he's coming through, in which case the fucking camera's already through the hatch when he turns around, so it's not going through the bar, it's in front of the bar, but it's a black camera and a black background, so it looks like it disappears because it's compressed. Which should be about right for LEO standards.
Straight through.
I still don't know.
What a boy Victor is. Can't help himself debunking this international space.
I didn't even see it that
That's
time.
No, he's literally saying that, like, as he's going through the hatch and he turns, he's saying that the camera's going through the edge of the hatch, but he's gone through the hatch then turned. It's just because the black camera has gone in front of the black background behind him, and because it's it's highly compressed video, the camera just sort of blends in with the background. It's not clearly there's no clear separation. That's about the level of it. But then that's just pretty typical level for Level Earth Observer, to be fair.
I've never watched any of his stuff before.
They're fucking shit.
Have you ever spoken to him?
Not directly, no. But he disappeared because all he ever said, on and on, he doesn't care about this, doesn't care. The only thing he cares about is demonstrable reality. Demonstrable science that can be tested and verified by all. And he wanted some sort of a demonstration to prove the globe. So I gave him the equatorial mount and said, if I go to the equator, I always do, and it will follow the sun perfectly in a straight line from east overhead to west, and it will keep the camera pointing at the sun perfectly, and come the next morning, it will be back pointing at the sun, and yet in the middle of the night, the camera's pointing straight down at the ground. So either the camera loses track of the sun somewhere and regains it perfectly. How does that work on a flat Earth? Or the sun is below the ground in the middle of the night. How does that work? He will not touch it at all. He just goes, oh, you think an equatorial mount is demonstrable reality? I'm like, well, it's reality. It's in my fucking hand and it works in a demonstration. So yeah, it's demonstrable reality. His argument is basically he tries to loop the logic of going, it's not demonstrable reality because he can't explain how it works.
Yep. But that ain't that all of them, though. I don't understand it, therefore it's not real.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whereas I don't understand it, but I still believe it. So I'm probably no better than them, to be honest.
I was thinking about this before, because I can't remember whose I was listening to one video or something somewhere where they ask, oh, what's your qualifications in this? And basically a flat earther's argument is, if you're not professionally qualified in the topic that you're talking about, then how can we trust what you're saying? But you give them somebody who's professionally qualified in the topic that they're talking about, and they don't want to know because they're telling you the Earth's a globe.
Yeah.
They basically take the approach. And I had it once. Somebody came on and asked me in a live stream, and they said, what's your qualifications? Professional qualifications. And I was like, well, I've got a degree in science, in computer science. And they said, all right, so not in science or anything like that. And I was like, no, but then all the flat earthers don't have qualifications in it either. And the difference between me and them is I'm not disagreeing and pretending I know more than the people who do have fucking degrees and do this shit professionally. You lot are.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said to that dickhead Solly. He's like, he was trying to speak to me about land surveying. So I brought up a land surveyor for him to talk to. And he's like, oh, you're dodging me. He's like, yes, because I'm not a land surveyor. And I want to show you that neither are you. So like you can speak to someone that you're disagreeing with and you can tell him how wrong he is while he gets paid to do that. And you don't get paid at all. You just sit at home doing fuck all, telling the rest of the world they're wrong about everything.
That's like you going to one of your mates. That's like you going to one of your mates and going, something's wrong with my car. How do I fix it? And they go, well, I know the basics about cars. I'll have a look at it. And then they go have a look at it and go, well, actually, I'm still not sure on this. Tell you what, you better take it to a mechanic.
Yeah, that's right.
Versus taking your car to a mate and going, oh, don't fucking listen to mechanics. They're all liars. I'll fix this even though I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You can't trust. Why is it because he's a mechanic? He just knows more than me because that's what he fucking does. Like, it's not fucking difficult. Like, if you got a toothache, where you going to go? Hairdressers? What you talking about? Dickheads. Because like, you've cherry picked something out of a dentistry book. Therefore, all of dentistry is wrong. Like, that's literally what they think. And if you quiz a dentist enough and ask him enough questions about dentistry to the point that he says, you've won the debate.
Yeah.
That's literally what they do. And TikTok is worse for that. Speaking of TikTok, I think we should probably get on there. Let's see if this... I can see that I'm lagging a bit here and I've just realised why, because I'm fucking Wi-Fi. So I'm going to try and switch it over quickly to... Because I've got wired there. I'm going to try and switch it over so it might lag a minute and while I'm doing it. So let's just see. Hopefully it won't. It's going to. Oh, we're back. That wasn't too bad. I don't know if that'll work or not, but let's get onto this. Get the studio up. I don't know why I'm lagging on fucking Ecamm. I've never had that before. Doesn't have lips. I ain't played that for a while. Everyone's getting flash now. All the new members have.
It doesn't have lips.
All of the emojis that they can use now. Did I click? Oh, we go. I have to get you. I'm going to pull you up onto the other page, so because I'm mirroring the camera on there, which will possibly make it worse, but we'll see. You'll probably find that most of them see you and hide. Where are we?
Yeah, I was really annoyed the other day. I saw Dirth had put a video out. He hosted one of his like reading religious presentations to a flat Earth meetup in the UK.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck! If I'd known about that, I'd have gone along and sat in the audience with him.
Yeah, exactly. Right, hold on a second. What do I need here? I need to add new image overlay, new movie overlay. Camera overlay. That's what I need. And I need... There. I'll stick you up there. I'll just get that chat out of the way. Actually, you have to be about here, otherwise no one will see you on there.
This is really laggy, mate. I hope it clears up.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why. I just don't know why it happens.
TikTok shit or...
Yeah, TikTok shit, but then it was lagging on Ecamm as well. So I don't really know why. Yesterday, it was absolutely
Apple
fine.
shit?
Well, possibly. That's what people are telling me. But then saying that, I've not had any issues with it until like recently. So I don't really know why it's doing it now. But let's go live and see if it really, if it does really lag, I'll have to log. Oh, he's gone. I think he's lost his connection. Am I still on? By the way, 100 people in the chat. 100 people there and 35 likes. It doesn't make any sense to me. Welcome back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It just went all laggy and then it binned me out.
That's mad. I don't really know what's going on there. Maybe I should have reset everything before I could. But I've not had to, I've only just pulled TikTok live up. Right, anyway. Let's just go live and see how it works. It's probably going to start lagging to fuck. Let's make sure that I've got the right settings on here. So I've got all that off. Go live. Yeah, that is laggy. Let's close these windows over here. It's weird because I've got plenty of space. There's nothing should be dragging this. There's just incompatibility with something. But we'll make do. I think as long as people can hear. Hello, the real emperor person. Dave, say something and let's see if they can hear
you. Hello.
Right, Josh, can you hear Dave McKeegan here when he spoke? If not, then it's not working. Congrats with the win. Yeah, I didn't play, but cheers. Dave is clear. Okay, cool. And I'm laggy as fuck, but there you go. Yeah, buffering now. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know how I can have this internet wired. Like, my upload speed is about 115. I've cleared everything out. I've got no idea why this lags. Let's do some super chats while we're waiting here for people to come in anyway. That's disappointing.
I don't know. Can you see what you're on an Apple? Are you on Apple, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you see? I don't know if I use PC. Is there any way to see like what your CPU usage and stuff is to whether or memory usage and that?
Well, my CPU
in it there.
Yeah, my CPU usage on TikTok Studio is only at the moment 6.05. The CPU usage on Ecamm isn't much, but Ecamm seems to be the issue today. I was lagging before I even put TikTok on.
What about your RAM, your memory? Because
memory's 2.80 on TikTok.
Or just like togs. I know something like if everything's piling on all at once, yeah, sometimes mine bottlenecks a bit. But
I've got an idea.
I don't know how to check. I don't know how to check on Apple.
If that'll work or not. I had another camera plugged in. I don't know if that did anything by unplugging that because it was like a backup. Maybe that was. Is that any better?
Seems a bit better, possibly.
Yeah, it's not as bad. So, I mean, it's weird that something was happening with Ecamm before I even came in here. So that's the only thing that I had in that, yeah, seems smoother. Yeah, so that's obviously was one of the problems. I'm not sure it'd be totally smooth, but I had it plugged in as like a fail safe in case this didn't work. Anybody want to request up? We got Dave McKeegan here. If anyone wants to come and talk to Dave, Angels are shite. If anyone that's friends of Angels are shite, he can come and get a clip here from Dave. See, I've got someone in the box, and it takes 300 attempts, and that's nothing to do with lag. That's purely to do with the studio being shit. It's going to come up in a minute, and I'll be able to...
While I wait, I'm going to go make a drink.
All right, mate. Dylan. How we doing? I'm all right, mate. What did you want to say? Why are you a flat earther? Is there? Like what? Yeah, like what? NASA helps with flat Earth. No sound from TikTok. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. For some reason, what is that noise there? Someone having sex in the background. I can just hear some pounding sounds. All right, okay. But they can't hear you here on YouTube for some reason. I don't know why, because audio capture is ticked. So... yeah, I'm aware that you can't hear the guest. Hold on a second. I'm trying to fix it. Let's just X this out and bring it back. The fuck is that? Right, speak now.
What happened?
Hello, right. Can you hear him now? Dave's dropped out again. Can you hear him now? Say something, Dylan.
That Australian painter was good.
Right. You can now. Okay, cool. Right, they can hear you. Right, say what you just said again.
What I just said?
Yeah, so you said after the latest moon mission. So what's space got to do with the shape of the Earth?
Well, when you know true cosmology, you know that Earth is the center of everything, and there's a firmament above us, like a glass dome. You understand that outer space is not real. Heaven is above. Yeah. And then it makes sense why all like the NASA stuff is like, it gets caught phony. Like it's kind of phony. Like go look at the moon mission. Start to finish, it's all phony.
It's funny you should say that, because I've just been looking at it before I came on here, the moon mission. So, and Dave McKeegan is Dave McKeegan is a bit of a moon enthusiast. Can you see Dave there?
Oh right. I bet he doesn't even know what the moon is.
Dave, do you know what the moon is?
A big block of cheese, according to flat earthers.
Yeah.
No, we know it. It's local. It's powered with the electromagnetic field ether, and the moon is cosmic plasma, like scientists have said. We don't think it's a globe in outer space, though. How local varies. Local? I'd say it's about 3,300 miles. 3,300 miles.
Okay. So how come we can measure it being 250,000 miles away?
Because those measurements are false. I mean, honestly, if you
Well,
go
parallax
outside
measurements are false,
and you
are
see
they?
a full moon at night, dude, it's not 250,000 miles away. And the sun is
You can
definitely
measure
not
it with
93
parallax.
million miles away. You can measure it using triangulation. It'll be local. And don't you find it strange that all
Really talk
ancient
me through
civilizations agree?
Right, you got to just let him respond to a thing at a time rather than keep going on about other stuff, right?
Okay, tell me
Stop
how you would
talking.
measure it with triangulation.
You take the bottom base, moonlight, and then the moon from the ground up. Just triangulation, bro. I haven't done it yet, but it is local. There's so much evidence for it. It's unbearable.
Right, so you've not actually measured it. You're just saying it's 3,000 miles because reasons. Because, you know, funnily enough, I tried it using No, I tried it with your triangulation method, because what your triangulation method does is it takes an elevation angle and presumes the Earth is flat to get its height. But then its height is changing for whatever position it is in the sky. Same problem you have with why you can't accurately get a consistent height for the sun or any of the stars. When you do it with a globe,
the sun,
you get
it
consistently over
varies.
200. You get consistently over 200,000 miles if you measure it as the Earth being a globe. I did it with the Earth being flat and got 160,000 miles, so you're still wrong.
Dude, I know the sun and moon are local, okay? Your measurements will never prove it's local.
I know they're not.
I mean, your measurements will never prove it's 250,000 miles away.
Did you measure it then?
No, I haven't measured it. There's no reason to. I can tell it's local.
So he did. Do you think the sun is local too?
Yeah, it does. It goes in a circle above Earth. It's at its highest point in June.
Yeah, how high is its highest point?
It's at its highest point like June 20th. I can't remember the day, around there.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the date. How high?
It does a far outer circle during winter.
How high?
I don't know exactly, bro.
Roughly.
I don't know. I'm a 23-year-old that realized flat Earth was true like 4 years ago, bro.
You've had 4 years to try and figure it out.
Okay, all right. Let me rework this then. Just to clarify, do you agree that as things move further away or get closer to you, their size would change, or their apparent size would change?
Yeah, dude. The sun just goes out. It just goes in a circle above you. I know what you're saying. The sun would get smaller, bro.
You don't know what I'm saying, because I haven't actually said it yet. So unless you're psychic, you haven't got a clue what I'm about to say. Right.
Sometimes I am.
If something was okay, great. If you're standing 300 meters away from a building, and then you move 1,000 meters away from that building, how big? Like, would the top of the building get significantly smaller?
I don't know. I'd have to see photos, bro.
But it's a pretty basic concept. If you're looking at something that's on the top of a building and you're standing near the bottom of the building, and then you move 2 kilometers away from the building, is the thing at the top of the building going to appear much smaller to you when you're really far away from it?
Sounds like it, probably.
Okay, great. So back in December 2024, I went to Antarctica. Just before going to Antarctica, I was in Chile.
Oh, you went to a little point of the ice wall.
Okay, good, great. So let's say I was on this ice wall, according to you, then. So I was in Antarctica.
That's why it has the highest
the day before I was in Antarctica, I was in Punta Arenas, Chile, and 3 days before being in Punta Arenas, Chile, I was in the UK, which is 10,000 miles away from this little point on the ice wall. I took photographs of the sun with the exact same camera settings in all 3 places, and the sun is the same size in every single photo. How does that work if the sun is 3,000 or 4,000 miles above my head?
I don't know. It just does. It's not my fault. You're getting it wrong. You think it only works on a.
Oh, okay. We'll go with that then. Yeah. Okay. Just
you understand
magic.
This is the real map of Earth I'm showing you right now, right?
Oh, what this?
This is actual Earth.
Your voice has gone. You don't know what's happened there. Your mic's gone off.
I don't know. Should I just go with this tactic and say, no, it's not?
Is this the actual map of Earth?
This is the actual map. This has the land past the Antarctic ice wall.
The land past it. Oh, there's land past. Oh, I forgot about that land.
This is actual map.
So who's ever seen that land to know that is accurate then?
Well, the Nazis mapped it out when they had the UFOs. That's why they were able to go.
No, they didn't.
Past the Antarctic ice wall and go more inward north, where they say it's like.
I'm curious what the point of the ice wall is then.
Yeah, exactly.
The ice wall holds the 7 continents. That's why it's the biggest shoreline, and that's why all countries have a giant greedy with them. That's why it's militarized. You can't go past certain points. That's why Mr. Beast didn't talk about it when he asked about the Antarctic ice wall. No, Mr. Beast didn't.
Now, the person you're talking to right now absolutely did.
The Rockefellers.
I don't know. Do you know where Mr. Beast went in Antarctica? Do you know where Mr. Beast went in Antarctica? I can tell you. He was at Union Glacier Camp, the exact same place I went. I know because I spoke to the staff who put him up in the bloody camp.
Yeah, that's cool. How does this prove globe Earth? You went to a little point on the Antarctic ice wall. Good for you.
You brought up Antarctica.
And saw a 24-hour sun that doesn't work on the map that you just brought up.
It actually does, which is the sad part. And I don't even know if that 24-hour sun is fully truthful.
Great. Explain how.
It definitely should work on a flat Earth map, because we live on a flat Earth plane. Why can't you explain to me why NASA gets caught lying every time they go into outer space and there's video of them hitting the firmament? Why can't you explain that?
Right, so you can't explain the 24-hour sun then?
You just want to move on from the 24-hour sun.
Yeah, my evidence would be it works on a flat Earth.
The ground position. The ground position of the sun further south, tropics. That is the boundary line. They go no further.
Hold on. It looks like we've got another flat earther here. Right. So he's saying that the North Star won't work on a spinning disc.
No, the North Star will work on a spinning disc, but you also have the Southern Cross, and that will not work on a spinning disc. It only works on a globe.
Exactly.
And if you ever met anybody from Kenya, ask them if they can see the North Star and the Southern Cross at the same time.
Not a spinning disc in outer space.
No, you think the sky spins.
Earth is the center of everything. We don't think it's a disc in outer space.
Matt, your audio is the audio from TikTok is sounding utter garbage.
Hang on, maybe I'm not even on the.
And gravity is real because an anvil will float on Mercury. No, gravity's been proven. There is a theory of gravity, but gravity's been proven.
No, it's buoyancy and density. Gravity's not been proven. It's never been proven.
That's what I'm saying. But an anvil will float in Mercury. So you're telling me that Mercury is more dense than iron or
that
steel?
Proves buoyancy and density.
Proves you're a dumbass.
The floating point is the whole point of gravity. That proves that's fake. I honestly find it sad that the government lies to your face and you still believe them. You're grown men.
What's any of this got to do with the government, by the way?
Well, has everything. First of all, you pay tax dollars to the government. If
so do you.
Actually, you could get free energy from the air. You wouldn't have to pay.
Do you pay tax?
And a lot of them. I mean, for right now, but I'm a billionaire.
So who's the idiot then? You've got it all figured out, and we're all of us fools are paying money to the government.
I didn't say you're an idiot for paying tax, dummy.
You just literally just did. You just said you guys all pay tax.
I'm saying if you know true Earth, you won't have to pay for certain things, dummy.
So why do you then, dummy? Who's the dummy? The person that's got it all figured out on me?
You.
Right, well, you've got it all figured out, so where's your free energy, dummy? Why are you paying people? Why are you paying your taxes even though you know it's all fake, dummy?
Who says I pay taxes?
You used 2 seconds ago.
If you say so.
Yeah, you did. Everybody heard you. So
it's interesting that apparently gravity's...
Honestly, what do you have
it's interesting that apparently...
What do you have to say? You honestly believe they went to the moon mission, like the old ones? Both of y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You believe Freemasons went to the moon?
Irrelevant.
But he's a Freemason, you know.
Hang on, let's
a ring.
Hang on, I want to try this. I want to try the flat Earth approach. You genuinely believe there's all these land masses the other side of the Antarctic ice wall, and the Nazis went there with UFOs? How was that?
Yeah, because there's film and map of it. We have evidence.
Where?
Oh, somebody drew a picture. Les, get me some crayons. I'll draw you another picture.
That's the reason we have Operation Paperclip. That's the reason the U.S. government bought over Nazis for NASA. Are you retarded? You guys are so slow.
He's gone.
Grow out your hair or something.
Well, let me get this straight. Hang on. Let me get this straight.
Freedom of speech in America.
This is TikTok, cunt! So fuck off! Jesus Christ. I remember him now. I remember him now. He's the one that always says the R word, knowing that you can't say it because he wants you to kick him because he's a fucking coward. He does it every single fucking time.
Love his argument. So the Earth's flat, but Nazis went over the ice wall. That was the point of Operation Paperclip. So most famous of Operation Paperclip was Werner von Braun came over to America, developed the Saturn V rocket, and went to the fucking moon that he just said was fake.
Yeah. That doesn't have to make any sense. They just know it's all bullshit, right? So
Jesus Christ.
Did my audio pick up at all?
The audio went... I don't know what it was. I think he sounded okay. Well, I could hear him okay at first, and then, I don't know, it went really staticky. I was struggling to make out what was being said.
Yeah. It's definitely not... Something's not right. Let's got another person coming up to see who this is.
What's up, man?
How we doing?
We good, man. I got one question for you, man. They say the Earth is spinning about whatever the miles they say, but can you prove it?
Well, you can look at the sky and see that we're moving. Speeds, maybe Dave can answer.
You can get a gyroscope like Bob did.
Yeah, 15 degrees per hour on a ring laser gyroscope by a flat earther.
But if something is spinning and following the sun at 1,000,000 miles per hour, wouldn't you feel that?
No.
Why not?
Because it's constant motion.
I'm saying you could see constant motion though, but you don't see that.
Yeah, you see constant motion. That would be
train. You're going out of let's say out 5.
Hold on. Can you just repeat what you just said?
Well, I just say, like, let's say a train is moving at 500 miles per hour. You will not feel it, but you will see that you are moving, though, by looking through the window. How come that don't happen on Earth?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
It does.
We've got audio issues on fucking... Solved, fixed. Okay, cool. Right, okay. Yes, so basically that does happen, and you can just... The way you can tell it's us moving, the best way that anybody can tell it's us moving and not the sky moving is by observing 2 different points of rotation in the sky. 2 different centers of rotation in the sky.
But even if you do that, you're still not saying that we are moving at 1,000,000 miles per hour, right?
But let's start there, shall we? So how on a flat Earth can there be 2 different points of rotation in the sky? Where would they be on this?
On a flat Earth, there'll be two rotation.
How?
Well, for that point, let's say how let me ask you the same question, because I don't have an answer for that. But how in a globe can you see that? Make it make sense.
Because the point of rotation would be one above the North Pole and one above the South Pole as it rotates around, which is exactly what we do observe.
Yeah, but
if you sit in an office chair,
even if you're on the boat.
If you sit in an office chair and you spin around and around and you look straight up above you while you're spinning, you will see a point of rotation in the ceiling. If while you're still spinning, you look down at the ground, you will see a point of rotation on the floor, but that will appear. So you've got 2 points of rotation, except we can't see the second point of rotation on the globe because the Earth is in the way. So you can only ever see one at a time unless you go to the equator.
Okay, but even if you're on a ball, right? Let's say even if you're on a globe, on a ball or whatever, that rotation will still remain the same. It wouldn't change because it's just rotating up one side. It wouldn't change because that's I think that's another like how would you call that? It's like another point of view of like something that we can't explain, something that scientists can't explain. That's because.
So why is it all explained?
They lied.
Why is it all explained if science can't explain it?
I'm saying it's not all explained.
What's not
that
explained?
We can't explain. A lot of stuff that I can't explain. Like let's say the firmament. You can't explain that.
That's not for us to explain. It doesn't exist. So it's for you to explain.
It does. It does exist.
Okay, explain it then.
Well, I'm telling you, we cannot explain it. They try to figure it out, but they cannot.
Who tried to figure it out?
I'm not gonna say, but scientists, But the thing is like, how can water be up there? That's the thing. They're not gonna tell you. It's a different body of water. When you hit it, you cannot penetrate.
You seem to be a bit confused.
Now the firmament
you seem to be a bit confused with this.
It's made out of water. It's made out of water, and that water you can't just penetrate it. It's impenetrable water. That's why they shot a lot of things up there. They never go through. Like Elon Musk, if you look at his videos, he shot something. You can see it hit the water, but it did not penetrate the water. It's something we cannot explain.
You can't explain it because it doesn't exist. It's much like us trying to explain why Santa Claus can get around every house in one night.
No, it does exist. They just not coming out and tell you that it exists. They're gonna tell you. They're gonna sell you what they want you to believe. It's called indoctrination.
Okay, how can you prove? How can you prove the firmament's there?
How can I prove? Because I've seen the rockets hit it plenty of time. There is a firmament. Operation Fishbowl. They hit the firmament plenty of time.
What were they trying to do with Operation Fishbowl? Out of interest, what were they trying to do with Operation Fishbowl?
Operation Fishbowl. They try to blow the firmament.
Why is that?
Yeah, but they're not gonna come and tell you that.
Why would they try to do that?
So if the firmament's water and rockets are going into the water, then why is the water?
What's up there?
Why is the water not falling down on us?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different body of water because if you look, there is a diver, right, that went under the ocean and find another ocean under the ocean.
Someone in the chat, so funny. Someone in the chat just said the host doesn't even know what they were doing in Operation Fishbowl. Yeah, I do. I wondered what he thinks they were doing, because flat earthers like you, dickhead in the chat, think that that they were trying to break through the firmament and kill everybody, Because if there's waters above, knobhead, then everybody on Earth would have died, and the government would have been committing suicide. You fucking knobs. That's why I'm laughing at you, right?
I don't know about you, Matt.
Yeah, you're not understanding.
Yeah,
that.
the number of times I've gone into like one of those aquarium tunnels and looked up and seen the waters above me and thought, I'll put a hole in that.
Exactly, yeah. I need to break through that and kill myself for no reason at all.
But you gotta understand, there's different kind of body of water. You gotta understand that's a different type of liquid. You know, it's just like if you go under the ocean, you'll find another ocean. Yeah, you've seen that. They got video of that.
Explain
like,
that, please.
Pocket of hair
but you're not gullible at all, are you? Right. You just believe whatever you see. Man, you just believe whatever you see on the internet, and then laugh at other people for just believing what they're told. Like, that's ironic, isn't it?
No, but you guys are like, it's like y'all are indoctrinated. Y'all read something,
but you're not. But you're not indoctrinated.
Click something up. No, I'm not.
What? So Operation Fishbowl was to break through the firmament. You just saw that online and believed
but
it.
They all going to lie to you and tell you that it wasn't, but that's what it was for.
But they were just lying to you when they told you that.
Yeah, but of course, you guys are so indoctrinated that you guys believe you live on a ball.
Yeah, but I've just asked you to explain
Okay.
So explain 2 points of rotation in the sky on this, please.
Like I told you, man, it's a different. It's like it's something nobody don't have an explanation for it.
Well, it does. The globe's explanation makes perfect sense on the globe.
Earth is flat, but
You're just indoctrinated. You're just indoctrinated to believe otherwise because with no evidence you think we live on that. That's indoctrination.
Yeah, we do because I fly over it all the time and I drive over it all the time. It's flat. It feels flat. I wake up. It feels flat. I wake up. It's not moving. That's about feeling. This is a physical world we live in. We're not living in a cartoon imaginable world. In your head, you imagine that you live on a flat, but really the reality is you standing on flat ground. What goes up comes down. Gravity does not exist.
What goes up comes down. Gravity does not exist.
No, he has never been proven.
So why does it come down then?
The reason why they create gravity is just to make you believe that you could float. The ball can float, but really we are not floating. We are not moving.
Why is the sky moving?
You guys can feel it. You wake up and feel it all the time. You walk on it, you drive on it, feels flat, look flat. I mean, what you guys are fighting reality.
Do you do you feel motion generally? Do you feel constant motion generally?
No, I don't feel no motion, man.
No, I'm talking about
like you sitting at
when you're in a car doing 60 mile an hour constantly, or a plane doing 500 mile an hour constantly. Are you flying back to the back of the plane, or are you just sitting there drinking a cup of tea?
That don't mean nothing, man. What are you talking about? The object is moving and you're inside of it.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
It's not the same, but I can see the plane moving.
Yeah, you can see the earth moving. Just look at the sky. You can see the earth moving.
You cannot, man. You cannot. That's impossible. I look outside right now and I should be flying. And I should hear.
Why are you making flying sounds? I know what flying is.
Okay, because it's gonna make a sound. Let's say you hit something, you throw a ball so fast, you're gonna hear a sound of that ball. But we not hearing nothing. Come on, man. You guys are fighting reality. You trying to follow the scientists and everything.
Come on, make your point now. I'm ready to believe you.
I'm saying I don't know what else to tell you guys, man. The fact that you guys are fighting reality doesn't make sense, man. You wake up every day and feel it.
Do you know where the South Pole is on this? I need to ask everybody this question. That's
you know the South Pole. South Pole will be anywhere you hit south. That you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like anywhere you go outside of it.
Okay, where is the Armordson Scott? Where is the Armordson Scott Research Center?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know, but all I know, all that the flat Earth people have the same knowledge. I don't have the same knowledge as the flat Earthers. I'm a different one.
Well, all this time you've not been a flat earther?
No, I am a flat earther, but I'm a different one. I don't.
You're the
I've been a
special
flat
one.
earther ever since I was. Ever since I was a kid. Ever since I was 12 years old. Now I'm like 35.
Well, do you always feel like you was put here for something great?
I've always felt that I've been put on here for something great.
No, I don't. No, I don't believe that.
Oh.
That.
Cool.
Yeah, but I just know, with sample evaluation that
this is
see you later. All right, Gladiator's in there. This is a bit better. Eventually, you there, Gladiator?
Hello.
Right, just before you start, can everybody on YouTube hear Gladiator, or have I got to restart that again? Let's do a sound check, Gladiator.
Hello. Can you hear me?
All right, can anyone hear him saying hello? Can you hear me? I'm just waiting for them to confirm, because otherwise I've got to kick you off of there and bring you back on. I won't kick you off of here. Please, someone in the chat in YouTube, can you just say yes or no whether you can hear him? Oh my God, we can hear the hell out of it. Right, everyone can hear you. Right, okay. Please present your case.
I'm going to bring up something you said to the last guy. I can't remember what it was you said. Were you talking about... No, he asked you to prove how the Earth spins, but you didn't actually give him any proof.
Oh, didn't I?
So I guess I'll just reiterate his question.
What about Bob's gyroscope?
Yeah, so you mean a gyroscope that picks up like a sidereal rotation?
How would it do that?
Not an actual rotation.
How?
So it's picking up a rotation. How?
Yeah. How would a gyroscope on Earth pick up what the sky is doing?
Okay, well let's go through what's happening, right? You're using a gyroscope and you're claiming this is measuring some sort of spin, right?
Yeah.
Like centrifugal forces, Coriolis forces, stuff like that.
Exactly, the predicted spin. Imagine that.
It's also equal. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so it could also be the exact predicted spin of sidereal rotation, causing an effect.
Yes.
Down here.
So we've established that you think that. So now give evidence for that.
Well, we can go outside and we can see the sky spinning.
Yes.
Yeah, whilst we feel that we're stationary here. So it's you guys are making the claim that's actually antithetical to our perceived reality. You need to come, you have the burden of proof.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, no. It's
okay, burden of proof. Spinning. Okay, burden of proof accepted. 2 points of rotation in the sky.
Sorry?
Burden of proof accepted. Well, 2 points of rotation. Because you're talking about movement in the sky and whether how we can tell whether that's us or the sky moving. 2 points of rotation suggests it's us.
Gladiator, no, Matt, let me just
conflating.
to bring up Gladiator's point.
Yeah.
So, Gladiator, when you say sidereal day, you mean the movement of the sun in the sky is causing this apparent register of acceleration from the gyroscope. Okay, fine. The movement of the sky. Okay, fine. So when Matt just asked you, how could you verify that? Your explanation was go outside and look at the sky. What if you're still inside, you can't see the sky, or you go outside and you've got your eyes closed?
What's your point?
Because last time I checked, a gyroscope doesn't have eyes.
Oh yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is there's this idea. It's called Mach's principle, right? It's a guy called Ernest Mach, and this isn't some random guy. That's where we get the term, Mach in speed of sound. So this guy, it's called Mach's principle. It's the idea that if the sky was rotating above us and we were stationary, there would be a transfer of energy down from the sky to the Earth that would create these Coriolis effects and centrifugal effects that a gyroscope picks up, right? You're not picking up axial rotation, you're picking up sidereal rotation. And again, I'm making the claim that I'm making the claim that we can that the sky is moving and we're stationary. You're saying that's not happening. But then if we both go outside, it does look like my claim's right. And I'm not saying that makes me right, but I'm saying you have the burden of proof to say, no, this is the reason why it's the opposite of all your perceived senses.
Okay. Just
do you guys have any proof?
Because, well, I'm going to put the same argument to you. Well, I'm going to put the same thing to you that I put to Whitsitt when I spoke to him, because stationary versus moving is a different argument to flat versus globe. Because you could have a stationary flat Earth, you could have a moving flat Earth, you could have a stationary globe, that's the geocentric model, or you have a moving globe. So which of those four?
Well, it's two arguments about the same topic, and the topic is we're discussing where we live, right? And me, the host, and yourself, all three of us, we're all from the UK, so we all grew up in the same education system where we were all told the same thing when we were 5 years old, that the Earth is a moving globe. So that's two claims. Mm-hmm. So of course we have to discuss both claims. We can't just neglect one claim.
Okay. So in that case, then, if the Earth isn't moving, why do we have Coriolis deflection?
Yeah, again, because these effects are created by the sky moving.
So Coriolis deflection for artillery when firing north and south, but not Coriolis deflection for artillery when firing east and west.
You have to explain your point. Like, why do you think this wouldn't work?
You look up if you're a ship on the equator and you are shooting at a target that is in the north, you have to deflect your aim. You have to alter your aim slightly in one direction by a given amount, depending on the distance that you're firing. If you traverse the guns around 180 degrees and shoot at something in the southern hemisphere, you have to adjust by the same amount, but in the opposite direction. And if you're firing at something the same distance away, straight east or west, you don't alter your aim at all. How would the sky cause that variation in deflections?
Because it's creating two different forces. It's creating different forces on the Earth. So it's like, are you talking about like when people say, oh, snipers have to adjust for Coriolis effect? Is it the same sort of premise?
Yep.
Yeah. So again, I don't think you're understanding. Like, I'm not denying the existence of like Coriolis effects and stuff. I'm saying there's a different reason for why we're seeing it. And I'm not even saying it's definitively the truth. I'm saying that we both have two different ideas for what it is. We can't really go and actually substantiate what they are because we can't go up, to the sky and test it. We can't go there for ourselves. But I'm just saying that on its face, mine is more viable because that's what we see.
How would a moving sky all going?
Yeah, it's called Mach's principle. So this is like your own religion.
Can I ask my
right?
question? Can I just ask my question?
Sorry, go on.
So, how would the moving sky create the deflection of storms in different directions either side of the equator?
Because it would create like a vortex.
How?
What do you mean how? Like
how and why would it be? Why would it be at the equator? What's the significance of the equator on a flat disk?
Well, if you'd measure like the whole sky over the Earth, like rotating in a certain way, there's going to be a central like line. The equator can still be in generally the same place.
But the sky's all going exactly the same way all over.
We can't really verify that.
No, that's your claim.
I'm saying that we observe the sky to rotate over and above us, yeah. But
we also observe a southern point of rotation.
Yeah, okay, so that's got nothing to do with motion. We're getting onto shape.
Right, shape is the conversation.
So, I mean,
Earth,
if you want to
Earth
concede,
ain't flat.
you don't have any proof for the Earth moving. Okay, so you're cool with the idea.
Yeah, okay. I know you're big. I know you're a big fan of Solly and Angels of Shite, but it doesn't work for them when they pretend that the other person's conceded when they have no answers, and it's not going to work for you either.
I don't know those two names, but
yes, you do, because I've seen you speaking to them, and I've also showed it to everybody on my YouTube. So stop pretending you don't know these people, you fucking liar. I've seen you speaking to all of them. Angels of Light and Solly.
Okay, I follow the Angels.
Oh, now you know who they are. What a shock.
I definitely don't know who Solly is. No, but I've never spoken to either of them.
Of course.
So it's just weird to lie about that. But that's irrelevant. Let's not.
Everyone go to my YouTube and find out that he's lying, because I've shown it on there. I can't remember which show it was, but he's on there talking to one of them. But what a shock, a flat earther telling a lie for no reason. It's because well, I will. Anybody just can go and watch it. So they're substantiated. But it's funny. Well, I can't remember which one it was. I didn't put your name in it because you're fucking nobody. Do you think I'd get any views by putting Gladiator in the title of my video?
I've talked about and stuff.
Yeah, because I've spoken to you before. So when you popped up on it, I remembered you from my live. So I thought, oh, there's that dickhead Gladiator, and I was right.
Yeah, let's not get angry. I'm not going to take away your ball. Don't worry.
No, you definitely won't. Because you have no evidence. Yeah, you can't even explain the sky, so you've got absolutely no chance of doing anything in this conversation.
I can't explain the sky. Like, can we unpack what you're saying here? You're saying because I can't go out.
Please do. I've been asking you to unpack it for about 8 conversations now, and you still haven't. So let's unpack it now. That'd be good.
Unpack what?
The sky.
You want me to explain the sky?
Attempt to, yeah. You can please just address the 2 points of rotation rather than pretending it just is completely explainable without telling me how.
No, I never said it's all completely explainable. I said the exact opposite.
Oh, so globe then, right next. So if you want to just concede it's a globe, we can move on to the next topic.
No. Okay, so the globe was crafted by looking at the sky. So of course,
you know why?
A lot of the observations
because it completely matches the sky.
Yeah, but you could have done that with anything.
Really?
And crafted a model around it.
Do it with a flat Earth then.
Hey, can I just speak?
You just said you could do it with anything. Do it with a flat Earth.
What happened was
not gonna.
I
don't think so.
It wasn't like you guys crafted the model over 5 years.
I didn't do anything.
Hundreds and hundreds of years when you make more and more observations, and you have to go back and tweak the model and make changes to it, right? To make it so you got to like add a certain little wobble here because you see the moon goes a certain way, and then you go, oh well, no, that can't make sense like that. So then we're gonna have to add another tilt here, and then we're gonna have to change how fast it's going. So you constantly went back and revised this model. So yeah, of course, now in 2026, you can go and say, but our model matches the sky. Yeah, you spent hundreds of years.
You know how flat earthers. You know how flat earthers are all you guys are all the brightest people in the world. You're all the best minds that really know what's going on, right? So it's funny that none of you have got a model between you. You're like, even when you'll get all your bright, great minds together, you can't explain the sky anywhere on any model ever. It's funny that, and it's strange.
We all believed the same model we were all told as a kid, and then some of us like went and investigated that when we got a bit older and found out it's not that easy to prove it. It's very hard actually. And then from there, what you think we should make our own model in a few years or what? Like you guys didn't have thousands of years.
You're also amazingly bright.
No one said I'm amazingly bright.
You all think that you all think that all of physics. No, I don't think I'm bright at all. Bright, and I'm too bright for you, but I'm not bright at all in the big scheme of things. I understand that, right? But because all of science and physics is wrong, according to you.
No one said that. It's a straw man.
It's not a straw. What you think? All of science and physics is right, do you?
I don't think all of that's a loaded question. You're saying it's one.
No, it's just a question. There's nothing loaded about it.
You're very fallacious.
It's just I don't care. Have your fallacies.
I've never claimed that all science is wrong, and I've never claimed it's all right. That would be a crazy thing for anyone to claim, obviously.
Right. So all of physics is wrong.
I don't think all of physics is wrong. No, I think
physicists that all believe it's a globe are wrong.
Yes, anyone who thinks it's a globe is wrong. Yeah.
Right, okay.
In my opinion.
Okay, so the brightest physicists in the world that all think it's a globe is wrong, and you are right. So therefore, you are way brighter than all of these people. Make a model. Make a model.
But why are there other physicists who would agree with me? They think it's a geocentric stationary plane.
Who?
Hang on. Which physicists think it's a geocentric stationary plane?
Robert Zugenis, I think he thinks it's geocentric.
Who?
Geocentric and plane, two different things. This is the argument I had. This is the argument I had with Whitsitt in Antarctica when he turned around to me face to face and said, "Flat Earth is a psyop to stop people talking about geocentrism." And when I said, "Do you mean geocentrism, Earth a globe and stationary?" He said, "Yes." Geocentric does not mean flat Earth. People used to think maybe millennia ago used to think the Earth was flat. Then they figured out it was a globe, but they thought the globe was stationary and the sky revolved around them. That is geocentric. And then they figured out that actually no, the Earth is a globe and moving, not the center of the universe. So are you going the Earth is flat and stationary, the Earth is geocentric, or the Earth is a moving globe?
I believe it's stationary and planar. Yeah. I don't like the word flat.
Right, so not geocentric.
Use that word. Geocentric in the sense that we're in the center and everything goes around us.
Right.
Which is very different. So this is the
thing with... Okay, now I could get back onto your argument with the sky. Hypothetically, if the Earth was stationary and the entire universe was moving, it would probably look nigh on identical than if we were moving. Almost, there would be caveats to that, but it would be very similar.
What caveats?
People thought maybe the Earth would... Well, you've got the movement of the planets. That's where you get onto Ptolemy and the epicycles of trying to work out how the planets were going retrograde. And then you've got the fact that you can see Mercury and Venus transit the sun. They're the only two planets that do. And you can see the movement of you can watch the phases of Venus and you can see it gets bigger and smaller as its phases change. And it matches exactly like an object circling around the sun.
Yeah.
As it's
so
towards a full phase, it gets smaller and smaller, and as they all circle around a new phase, it gets bigger and bigger, exactly like it's orbiting the sun, and then you can watch it transit the sun. None of that fits with geocentric.
So what do you think it would look like?
None of it. It's very different.
What do you think it would
look like
if it was geocentric?
If the Earth was... Well, if you were to have geocentric and then everything just circling around the Earth, you wouldn't have the same... Venus wouldn't be getting smaller and bigger as it's going around the sun.
Why?
That's why you then end up with those weird freaking corkscrew. No, if everything was just circling around in a straight orbit, which is what they originally thought it was... You wouldn't see that.
I never said that.
I'm not saying you did. What I'm saying, right? So this is the progress. You know, this progress you talk about with science and how it would take you hundreds of years. This is the progress that science made, where they went, okay, I think it's flat. Oh, actually, no. Here's all these observations that tell us it can't be flat. It's a globe. Okay, well, it's a globe and we're stationary. And then you start to see the observations that think, actually, we can't be stationary because this doesn't match. So they change their position because they go, actually, my initial conclusion doesn't fit what I thought it was, so I need to change my conclusion, not, oh, this is my conclusion, but all these things don't fit, so we'll just go, well, there's no reason for that, we'll just ignore it, which is what you end up having to do with flat Earth. We could get out of looking at the sky. You don't need to look at the sky to know the Earth isn't flat.
Yeah. So what actually you guys did with your model is you were just wrong all the time and you kept revising it instead of throwing away the model. That's not what science actually is.
Well, you've not even had one model. So
yeah, of course we haven't. How?
What do you mean we kept revising it instead of throwing away the model? Every time we change the model, it's a new model.
No, but you're chasing the same goal, right? The same goal with this model was the idea that the Earth is not in the center of the universe and doesn't hold a special or unique place. It's called the Copernican principle. I'm sure that you've heard of it, right? Like, that's a very philosophical idea that science, cosmology has carried with it for hundreds of years now. Like, you're actively going against this possibility that we're, in the center. You don't like that idea.
Yeah, because people... No, it's not that they didn't like that idea. It's that they went, hang on, if we were in the center, this is what we would expect to see. This isn't what we see. What would actually explain what we see? Oh.
They said it with their own lips, like your leaders of your religion. They said it. They said that the idea that the Earth is holds a special, unique place is it's philosophically disturbing to them. They don't like it.
I don't care about it.
I would say the idea that the Earth is not the center of everything scares the shit out of you lot, which is why you're so desperate to cling to it, even though nothing fits.
Yeah. Well, that's not true. Because
are you religious by any chance, Gladiator?
No. I was a huge space junkie. I still love Star Wars. I still love all that stuff. It's cool. It's just a fairy tale, bro.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So this idea that, I just wanted to feel special. No, bro, I loved that stuff. A lot of us did. That's why we looked into it more.
But so this is what I'm saying here. You're jumping 3 steps ahead. You've got flat and stationary. They went flat, stationary, then geocentric. You don't need to look at the sky to just the history. That's the order of what people thought. They'd initially thought it was flat. Then they saw observations to say, actually, it's not flat. We're on a globe.
So who made that observation, and what was the observation, and how did it disprove the flat? Because you keep saying this thing, and you're not backing it up with any substance. You're not saying any actual claims.
Bottom-up obstruction.
Bottom-up obstruction. So you're claiming that bottom-up obstruction doesn't happen at all, and that the only reason that could be happening is the curvature of Earth. Is that really what you believe?
Well, let's see. If I move an object along a flat table, the bottom of it doesn't disappear. If I move it over
if you made it a really long table, it would. Yeah, but if you made it a really long table, then the object would disappear bottom.
How do you measure curvature? How do you measure curvature?
Well, a good way would be to, if it was curving, you'd measure where it gets obstructed, sure.
You don't even need to go with obstruction. If surveyors do this all the time, just measuring hills, elevation changes, not even the fundamental shape of the Earth, just whether the land is curving or not. How do you measure the curvature of something?
I don't know. You tell me.
Deviation from horizontal.
Okay, so what measurements are made that measure that?
So, if I put something on a table and I put my eye to the exact same height above that object, and I then move the object away, the object will appear to get smaller and smaller, but the top bit that is the same height as my eye will always stay in the center of my eye line. Right? If the Earth was flat, a horizontal line, then as you move that object away, it would always stay on that horizontal line. But if it deviates down from that line, it's going downhill. If it were to deviate up, you know it's going uphill. That's how surveyors measure the topography of the ground.
Yeah, there's downhill and uphill.
You set up a theodolite on the edge of the sea at a given height, and you watch a boat and put a mark on the same height as on the boat at the same height that the theodolite is. If the Earth was flat, that mark would always stay in the center of the theodolite. But it doesn't. It curves down. That is how you know the Earth is a globe.
Perspective, because things dissipate bottom up.
No, perspective.
If you have a long enough line of sight and there's no actual obstruction in the way, things are going to disappear bottom up.
No.
Due to
middle of your eye line. Perspective is the middle of your eye line. It would always stay at the same height. Perspective is anything above your eye line comes down, anything below your eye line moves up. The center always, whatever's at the same height as your eye,
Yeah, the convergence
always
point. Yeah,
stay
the sky
in
ramps
the middle.
down and the ground ramps up. Sure.
Right,
So
but
what
the
do you...
boat is dropping below your horizontal. That is not perspective. That is the ground curving.
Okay. So you're saying if I go on a street with a bunch of lampposts going down the street and I see these lampposts dropping one by one, you're saying that's not because of perspective. That's because I'm seeing Earth curvature.
No,
that's what you're saying.
That is a straw man of what I. No, that is a straw man of what I just said because the lampposts are above you. If you were to go and put yourself in a crane to the height of the lights, are you taller than a street light now?
You mean like as they get further away, they clearly appear to drop?
If you were to go in a crane to the height of the light, you would be looking down the lights. They would form a straight line. If it were a flat Earth, you would be looking all the way down the lights, way off into the distance until it becomes too small to see. If the Earth is a globe or the lights are on top of a hill, they drop down and away. It's why when you go to a hardware store and you want to buy a big long strip of 2x4 and you want to know, is this thing warped or is it straight? You pick it up and you hold it to your eye and you look straight down the end of it and see, is it curving down, dropping down below my horizontal, or is the end of it still with my eye line?
Yeah, if you had a long wooden board that was many, many miles long and you had a very small object comparative to that, and then you put that object eye level with you, and then you could hypothetically move that object many miles away along this board, it would
still be in the center of your eye line if the Earth was flat.
No, it wouldn't. You're just denying perspective now.
No, I'm telling you perspective. You're denying curvature because you're going, oh, well, no, it would drop because just fucking it would drop.
Because of perspective. That's how perspective works, bro.
No, perspective.
So again, you're smart. So again, you're smarter than every surveyor, every person that does measurements. All of these people.
The people who do.
Nobody agrees with you.
Survey measurements.
Nobody agrees with you about what you just said.
And they make flat measurements.
Who says that things drop below the horizon due to perspective? Who says that, other than flat earthers?
Yeah, no one says that.
So you're smarter than all of those people.
Because that's not how they've been brought up to think.
So they just don't know how to do their job. You know how to do their job better, but you don't do their job, but you could do it better than them.
They do their jobs.
As long as I understand it, you could definitely do everybody's job better than them. Continue.
Is all you have gotchas?
Gladiator.
Yeah, gotcha every single fucking time.
Are surveys accurate or not?
Are surveys like plane surveying? Or like a questionnaire survey for people? What do you mean?
No, sir. You brought up surveyors, so you mentioned plane surveys.
It's pretty accurate, yeah, for sure.
So they're accurate. Okay. If I were to take a measurement of something, right, and then I was to add an adjustment to that measurement, would the measurement still be accurate?
If you were to add adjustments to the measurement.
Yeah, so let me give you an example. Let me say I want to work out what my height. So let me say I want to measure what my height is, okay? So I can measure from my toe to my head, and I say, okay, I'm 6 foot tall, let's say, right? So I've measured myself, and I'm 6 foot tall. Then I say, actually, how tall would I be with, if I had like thick shoes on? So rather than re-measure myself with the shoes on, I go, okay, I'm going to add a correction to account for the shoes, right? If I add, let's say the shoes are 2 centimeters deep, right? If I add 2 centimeters onto that, is it fair to say that it would then be accurate that me with my shoes on would be 6 foot and 2 centimeters?
Yeah, it would be accurate, but the problem is you can go and verify how tall those shoes are, right? But so what you're doing now is called a begging the question fallacy. You're assuming
This is
fallacy.
I'm
Do you
not.
know the importance of fallacies?
I'm clarifying.
No, they're not important at all.
So being not like fallacious in your arguments and being logically consistent is not important. Yeah, this is the people that you've got defending your model, by the way.
I'm not defending the model. I'm here to laugh at you.
Yeah.
I'm not defending.
Can I finish my point, or are we off on deflections?
I don't believe in twats.
Yeah, sorry, it was the host. Sorry, it's the host, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right. You're talking logic. Okay, so now I'm going to say that same scenario again, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm going to still put the same shoes on, but I'm going to say this time the shoes are 8 foot tall. So now I'm 13 foot tall. Am I actually 13 foot tall?
No. Unless you're 13 foot tall.
No. Okay, so great. Okay, so if I had an adjustment in, but the adjustment isn't accurate, then the result isn't accurate, yes?
Yeah.
Perfect. Every single survey that is taken with a total station automatically measures the distance that the target is away and adds the corresponding amount of curvature drop for a globe, which means either every single survey that is taken with a total station is wrong and the Earth is flat, or the Earth is a globe and every single survey is accurate.
Yeah. Although they just, again, that's literally what I said. They just assume it and they add those measurements in. It's called like making corrective measurements to fit a model.
Right.
It's not that hard to grasp.
But, it really is, isn't it? Because if I go, hang on, I can see in the distance, I can see the top 3 stories of a building. And I know that building is X number of miles away. So I'm going to measure the angular size of those 3 stories of a building, and I can work out how high it is. That's what you would do if the Earth is flat. That's what you would have to do if the Earth is flat. It's basic trigonometry. But if you're going on a globe and you go, actually, that many miles away, there would be this much curvature drop as well, which means there's another 8 stories of building. I'm not denying that things drop. I'm saying they include curvature at a rate of about 8 inches per mile squared into all of these measurements.
Okay.
Now, why would they be adding corrections for curvature if there's no curvature?
Because they assume it. They think there is curvature.
But if there's not curvature there and they're accounting for, if I go back and I'm assuming my shoes are, if I go back and I'm assuming these shoes are 8 foot tall, I'm not actually 8 foot tall of putting them on. The resulting measurement
you're assuming the Earth's a globe and the Earth's not actually a globe. Congrats.
See, Gladiator understands what you're saying, but he's pretending that he doesn't. They do that a lot, right? Because if he accepts,
I know exactly what he's doing.
He accepts what you've just said, then he knows he cannot argue it. So he's just going to pretend for ages now that he doesn't understand the point you're making.
I do understand the
point. So please explain it then.
Your point is, like with the shoe example, is you're saying that if you assume that they're 8 foot tall shoes, that doesn't actually, and you go put them on, you're not suddenly 8 foot, right?
Right.
So with the globe, you're making these measurements and you're adding this assumption that there's this specific amount.
And then it's correct. What's your explanation?
But it'd be correct regardless without it. It's just the instrumentation that you're using.
If there's no curve, how would it be correct?
Because we're observing the same thing, bro. We're observing something going down. You're just.
But there's no. You're saying there's no physical curvature.
Yeah, no. Things are dropping as they get further.
How?
Yeah, due to perspective, buddy.
So they're not actually dropping then. Perspective isn't an actual drop, is it? Even if we're going to pretend that you're right.
Yeah, they're not physical.
So why are the measurements working then?
Measurements of what?
Dave, take up.
Explain the exact measurements. That's not working.
I've got the patience for this tonight.
No, it's not. He just goes back to, it's perspective, even though it's not actually perspective, because as I've already explained 3 times over, perspective is everything going into the middle point of your eye. It doesn't cross over
the
below
horizon.
Your eye.
The horizon, right?
Right, the horizon where the sea is supposed to meet the sky.
Horizon, I'm saying it's an apparent horizon. So then if I come back and I show you videos of this supposed geometric horizon fluctuating, going up and down throughout the day, how does that work? How does a physical geometric horizon go up and down and fluctuate throughout the day?
It's not. You don't see the geometric horizon. You see the apparent horizon because because it's.
So we never.
But there's still a geometric horizon.
Oh, but we just don't see it.
This is not.
Yes.
This is not. This is not what perspective is.
But you just
right?
live in a world of illusions.
Says the man that can't explain 2 points of rotation in the sky or tell me where the Armstrong Scott station is. You're not deluded at all, are you?
I can't. No, I'm saying I can't explain how the universe works. You're saying we know how it works. Everything's an illusion.
I don't think I know how it works.
But you just said.
So you can't explain how any of it works, but you know everyone is wrong.
You just said the reason that.
If you can't, that's a good point actually. If you can't explain it, how do you know it's all wrong? If you don't understand it and you don't make any claims that you understand it, how do you know it's wrong?
So you can falsify something without having to then have like a better understanding of it.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. The falsification is independent of replacement, but you don't know who you don't know who Witz is, obviously, or Solly. Or Solly, the people that say that all the time that you watch with your cock out every single fucking day.
Why are you getting so angry?
Angry?
Like,
Why do I look angry to you? That's another shit tactic. Pretending that your opponent is angry, like somehow clearly not. Clearly not.
Okay, well you're exuding that sort of energy, so
don't care.
I'm just giving you advice, maybe.
He's from Essex. I'll take a territory.
I'll take advice from a flat earther. They've got everything figured out.
Yeah, I never said I have everything figured out.
Clearly not.
I say the exact opposite.
Yeah. So why are you here arguing then if you don't know anything? You've just admitted that you're pretty clueless. Right.
Because clearly I'm exposing how little you guys know about your own model, and that's going to make
really because you haven't refuted one thing yet. So how are you doing that exactly?
Dude, the first thing I did when I came in here was I asked, how can you prove something? And all you guys was divert and change subject. You guys could not answer.
Why is it a diversion? Why is explaining how we can prove something a diversion?
Because you didn't explain it. You just started going, well, then how are there 2 center points of rotation then? How does that work? I said, no.
Science
you got to explain to me how you know that the Earth is moving.
Science doesn't prove anything. I said science doesn't prove anything, right? It doesn't prove a thing. It's a case of look at all the evidence. What explanation fits all the evidence? Whatever fits all the best explanations, that is what you go with until something better comes along. Consider it like a court case, right? And you look at all the evidence and you go, okay, well, all the evidence points to this verdict. And you stick with that's going to be the verdict until something else comes along that says, oh, actually, no, this is wrong. I can't remember who it was, but there was a science quote that says you can prove something right 100 times. You only need to disprove it.
But if we went to court and and I was presenting my evidence that I'm trying to defend I'm prosecuting someone that I think did a murder, and I show a video of the murder. And I'm like, here's perfect evidence of the murder. And, all the jury's there. They're like, oh, my God, it's clearly there's the murder. There's the video. And then there's like a proper forensic team comes out and they go, oh, no, look, we actually analyzed this video. And we got it peer reviewed and everything. Like, this video was clearly AI generated. It's like, this is not a video of the murder. Would it then be wise for the jury to go, well, if that wasn't the actual murder, then who was it? And if we can't figure out who it was, we're just going to keep assuming that this provably faked video of the murder was real. That's what you're arguing right now. You're saying that because even if we falsify something, then that doesn't matter. We have to stick with it until we have a better replacement. That's ridiculous.
What did you falsify?
That's not scientific.
We falsified the globe, brother. Hello.
We completely falsified the globe.
Really? Why have you not given any of the evidence for this? And so far?
What do you think? You think for the past however many years, like all these people are just trolling? You think we're all just trolling?
No, I think you're all dickheads.
No, you're just dumb.
No.
Okay, so you think there's just a growing number of people that are just really dumb, and there's a bunch of physicists that are dumb and really smart
There's
people.
no physicists. No physicists agree
There are
with
no
you.
flat earth physicists.
Okay.
Gladiator, I have something to show you. So this is a sunset in my city, okay? we are looking west, obviously, at the sunset, and you can see that it's going from right to left. You see, right to left. Now,
sure.
at the same time, someone in Florida can watch the same sunset and see it going left to right. That right there shows you that the Earth is a ball.
Yeah, we look up at the sky and then we can tell.
Not allowed to use the sky.
Full argument.
Can't.
So,
the sky disproves flat Earth, so you're not allowed to use it. That's the rules.
no, I mean you can use it. You can make guesses, but
well, Max just did. So please explain what he did then.
Rather
than just saying you're not allowed to use the sky.
That's how the models work.
Okay, but then if I can point out other holes in the model, then you guys just go,
Why don't you just address what Max just said?
Yeah, I was getting to it. I mean, you're saying there's 2 points of rotation in the sky.
Oh, you want to talk about that?
There are, yes, I see it every night.
Yeah.
The stars go clockwise around the south celestial pole for me.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that totally matches the globe model. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. What do you want? You want a cookie? Hey, look, the Earth looks flat, therefore the Earth's flat. Like, cool. That's what you're doing, man. You're not coming with any evidence. You're making an observation. You're presupposing something.
Every single observation. No.
So,
Dave, what did you do in Antarctica? Talk him through all of the things you did in Antarctica.
That's what I'm trying to get to. This is what I'm trying to get to. You make a prediction based on a model.
Yeah.
Right? You go, this is what I think. This is what should happen. And you go and see it. And strangely enough, when the final experiment came out, or prior to the final experiment being made public, there was loads of flat earthers saying, you can't go to Antarctica. There's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
No one said that. That's a straw man.
Several of them.
No one ever said that.
What?
No one ever
Excuse
said
me.
that.
Excuse
what
me.
What people say is you cannot freely and privately explore past a certain point on Antarctica. And you know that's what people say. No one says you can never go to Antarctica.
Excuse me.
So the fact that you have to straw man is ridiculous.
No. Nathan Oakley literally had a post up saying if you go to Antarctica, you will get turned away at gunpoint. There were so many flat earthers who shared the video of people in Tasmania on a fishing boat approaching a naval vessel and claiming they're in fucking shorts and t-shirt trying to go to Antarctica and being turned away from it. There was plenty. I'm not saying you, but there were a lot of flat earthers who said you can't go to Antarctica. And then when they started seeing, actually, you can get cruises to Antarctica, they shifted and said, oh, well, okay, you can go to Antarctica, but you're only on the peninsula. You won't be going in. Don't give me no. I'm not saying you. I'm saying many flat earthers. You are not all flat earthers, okay?
Yeah, so that's a bad argument.
So
that's like me going, there's many globe earthers.
Yeah, but he never said you. He said flat earthers. So why are you being offended by it?
Who said you can't go
because
inland?
It's a straw man.
And
it's not a straw man because it's true.
No, because the majority of the ones that I've talked to, they are very specific in what they say. I'm sure there might be some people that would just like say very broadly, "Oh, you can't go to Antarctica." Yeah, they probably shouldn't say that, but you know,
so not a straw man. Then.
This is all the big point. Flat earthers. There are compilation videos of that.
Dude, I've watched like old ones from like 2016 where they're clearly going through like the treaty and they're saying the specifics around it. They're not just saying broadly you can't go. So I'm sure there might be
point I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
This is the point I'm trying to get to, okay? The globe side of things has been for ages. You can go to Antarctica. You're not going to get shot by penguins if you try and go. And there's a 24-hour sun when you get there. The most part of flat Earth, or the most part that I saw was, first off, you can't go to Antarctica until people were going on cruises to Antarctica because they're the most accessible way to get near Antarctica. Then they shifted to, oh, yeah, okay, well, you can go, but only to the peninsula, and you can't go further south than that. And then it's, okay, well, the final experiment's going, but there's no, okay, you can go inland to certain places, but there's no 24-hour sun because, again, Nathan Oakley had what was the name of the guy? Robert Schwartz, was it? Or whoever. Had some guy who worked in Antarctica, claimed to work in Antarctica for 18 months, said there was no 24-hour sun. And Nathan took that and went with it for years that there's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica, and there's flat earthers who said, Dave Weiser said, 24-hour sun doesn't work in Antarctica. Even said it would be a great way to prove the globe that there's a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. One of Eric Dubay's 200 proofs the Earth is flat is there's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica, and there should be on a globe. So we went to Antarctica. What was the prediction for the globe? There'd be a 24-hour sun. We predicted exactly what elevations it would be throughout the 24-hour period. What was Flat Earth's prediction? It's a false dichotomy. And suddenly now, amazingly, since the final experiment, there's been flat earthers like Stephen Alonso who've come out and said, actually, a 24-hour sun is predicted on a flat Earth.
This is great news for flat Earth, he
predicted
said.
it before TFE came out.
Yeah.
So
none of them predicted any of it. None of them predicted the sunspot rotations.
Is what? The final experiment was you seeing the 24-hour sun. Was that all it was?
No, the final experiment as a collective here, because it was just the name of the trip, seeing the 24-hour sun was only one aspect of it. I recorded sunspots for 24 hours showing the rotation of them, that they didn't flip, mirror, change in any way when we were in Antarctica. At the same time, throughout the entire planet, there were people taking photos of the sunspots, and the orientation of the sunspots is different depending on your latitude. I took photos of the sun at Union Glacier, in Punta Arenas, Chile, and in the UK within the space of a week, and the sun's angular size was the same in all three locations, and the sun's angular size didn't change at all in Antarctica. I checked to see if there was polarization of the sunlight, which is what you would get if it was a reflection off the firmament. There was none. We measured the distance between lines of meridian and shown that where an AE map has them getting bigger and bigger the further south you go, they actually got smaller and smaller. And Critical Think was able to accurately predict exactly what the weight of his scientific weight would be based on gravity and what the globe predicted
gravity
would be
around the
weights
world.
for him.
Why are you sitting there with the disingenuous laughter when you've acknowledged numerous times that you don't know fuck all?
Okay,
and MC Toon was also able to show.
My heart rate's
pictures.
My heart rate's just off the scale.
MC Toon was also able to test the direction of the magnetic South Pole, and from Punta Arenas, it was down through the floor.
Okay. So no, you're just going to repeat again that everyone was indoctrinated at school and not address anything that's been said to you, like you have for the last half an hour.
Okay, so you went and observed the sun, and it matched the globe model which you used by observing the sky,
which is allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then how did you verify it beyond that?
What do you mean? We went and we said, this is what the globe predicts for all these different things. Do you know what's funny? When we first got there, Austin Whitsitt, I'm sure maybe somebody's got records of it. I don't know.
Gladiator doesn't know who Austin Whitsitt is. He doesn't know any of those people.
It doesn't matter. You know,
you're admitting to knowing someone.
I said those two names you said before. I didn't know who they were because I genuinely didn't when you first said them.
Great. Well,
Angels a lot.
Austin, let me share this with you then, Gladiator. Austin, when we got to Antarctica, I'd explained to him, he knew what was going to be going on, what we were going to be doing, and the fact that I was doing the solar filter setup. He asked me, what would the sunspots do if the Earth is a globe? And I explained it to him, and he said, yeah, okay, I agree with that. And he's on Discord. I heard him walking around the camp on Discord saying the sunspots are going to be crucial. If the sunspot rotations change, that's like a big win for the globe. That's going to be the big thing. He knew when we'd first got there, he basically knew the sun ain't going to set. He'd asked the camp staff, when does the sun set? They were like, about March. He then put it, the orientation of the sunspots is going to be the big one to know as to whether it's a globe or flat, because the flat Earth there's not going to be changing orientations depending on different locations. When I then showed him and literally gave him the pictures and said, here's the back of the camera. Go and ask him. This is what he said. I said this is what the globe predicts would happen. At different latitudes, you would get an orientation of the sunspots in the same way that the moon appears upside down in different hemispheres. This is what I would see. Me photographing the sun for 24 hours in Antarctica. Anyone else at any other time of day around the world photographing the sunspots, they would see the orientation rotated depending on their latitude. He was on Discord talking to whoever flat Earth buddies going, the sunspots are going to be crucial for it. Right up until the point that I showed him the pictures off my camera and the pictures that had been sent on my phone on email, and look, they're rotated. Strangely, he's not mentioned them once since. He'd said before I showed it him, and he's publicly somewhere Discord. Yeah, so he's publicly put it. This is going to be like the line in the sand. Whereas the 24-hour sun itself was the line in the sand for Jaren of Jaren knew months before TFE, this is what the flat Earth model predicts would happen in Antarctica. If we see something else, that's like a massive win.
But here's the problem, man, is you're saying the flat Earth model.
He saw that.
There is no flat Earth model. There never was a flat Earth model.
That is not the flex that you think it is. That is just you conceding victory.
You should go
Dave, did you know that I'm going with Jaron and Josh Monday to Punta Arenas in December again? Did you hear that, Dave?
Yeah, I heard. Gladiator, you should get on X and go. You should. Sorry, Max. Yeah, I did. I was been talking to Josh, but no, Gladiator. Just on your point of there's no flat Earth model. You should get on X and talk to Shane St. Pierre then, because he was bragging for fucking months that he's got the definitive flat Earth model that explains everything, and it's a perfect match.
Okay.
Right up until the point that I showed it didn't work.
I don't care.
You don't. But here's the thing, right? And do you know what? Funny, because I had the exact same conversation with Witsit when I said about not a model. And do you know what? He said pretty much word for word what you said of, oh yeah, but you guys have had hundreds of years to do it. It's funny because people worked out the Earth was a globe and the sun. Right. But those people hundreds of years ago managed to work it out with sticks, shadows, and shit telescopes. We have now got endless resources
and make measurements.
Way more. Okay, but you don't even need that because, as I pointed out to Witsit,
can you be honest? Hold on a sec. Sorry, Dave. Can you just be honest for a second, Gladiator? So, say you had nothing but your eyes to look at, right, and a telescope, and someone said to you, "Look, either this Earth is flat or it's a globe," and all you could do was look at the sky. Because that's all you can do. You haven't got endless resources. You haven't got the government telling you what to think. Right. What outcome do you think would be most likely by observing simply the sky?
Just the sky?
Yeah.
I would assume that it is moving around me, and that.
So you're on a globe.
It could be explained by. Sorry, say again.
So it would be more likely to be a globe than flat, right?
No, not at all, because I'd literally go out and see that it's flat. But like, if you're saying I only looked at the sky,
but you can't but you would assume a huge sphere would look flat locally, right? So you can't really measure it that way with no tools other than a telescope in your eyes.
Okay. Well, then that's
what they did. That's my point. That's what they did. That's the first observation.
So by that logic, right? If I say, okay, you have to go out and observe the movement in the sky with just a telescope, and then you have to come back and tell me, do you think you're going to come back and say that the Earth is stationary or the Earth is moving? Like, you'd obviously come back and say that it's stationary. So that logic just works against you.
I have a friend who
and then I'll travel and realize it's not.
He does astrophotography and astronomy live shout out. With a telescope, you can see something that is called velocity aberration. So you choose a star and you look at it, and when you're moving towards it, it looks one way, and then 6 months later, when you're moving away from it, it looks a different way. It gets red shifted and blue shifted. That can only happen if the Earth is moving.
Wait. So you're the thing that can only happen if the Earth's moving is if you look at a star moving.
No, that's not what I said.
It's hilarious.
So you look at a star. Do you know what red shift and blue shift is?
No, not really. You got to educate me. I know it's a way of seeing like the speed of things moving or something? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you choose one star. You look at it, say in January, and say you're moving towards it. So it gets.
Who said we're moving towards it?
Because that's the observation. Assumption. That's what you're trying to figure out.
No.
Like you see, it's blue shifted. You wait 6 months later, look at the same star, and now you're moving away from it. So it's redshift.
Yeah. Or the star's moving towards us, and then 6 months later, it's moving away from us, just as we observe. You're just saying that it's not happening. You're saying it's an illusion. You're saying it's the opposite, but you've got no proof for it. You're using the observation as proof.
Yeah, the observation is the proof.
The observation of a star moving away from us and towards us.
No, the star is...
How could that not be explained?
Hold on a second.
That's just what's happening.
Hang on a second. Dave just mentioned Shane St. Pierre. Shane's just called in. He's just left a message for Dave. That was Shane.
What's the joke? Does he look like Jabba the Hutt or something?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Oh, that's mean. That's really mean, bro.
He's not a great guy. Right, anyway, so Dave, you was going to make a point before I interrupted with all that bollocks, so please continue.
Yeah, so it's just to get... So, like I've said, you don't prove stuff in science. You predict and you test, and you repeat until something goes wrong. Well, where then something doesn't match, you go, okay, can we improve the model then to explain it? Until you've got something that explains everything, that is science.
Okay,
this
so
notion
how would you falsify your model then? Because you're saying that you can make a prediction, and then if the prediction is not wrong, you can just make these little tweaks to it, and until it's right, until it fits. At what point would we be able to falsify it then? Because that just sounds like something that's unfalsifiable to me.
No, because it's not unfalsifiable. That's how we ended up from geocentric to heliocentric, because they had the notion that the Earth was geocentric until they started going, well, hang on, there's these observations like planets going retrograde that doesn't fit the initial geocentric model. That's when Ptolemy then came in and started trying to come up with epicycles as... What?
There's the idea of like retrograde motion, like that all is explainable in a geocentric model. It's been done. With all the cycles, it's all been done.
Christ. Am I talking to the fucking wall here? Right, but this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so,
right? So
I'm saying it doesn't prove it for your side.
When people... I'm not... Oh, good grief. Right. When they first had the idea, when people first had the idea of geocentric, they had the idea of just all the planets going around in a straight orbit, and that's it. Like, each with their own concentric circles.
That's one idea of it, yeah.
Until people...
There's been lots of different
people started looking
stationary Earth models throughout society. There's not just been like one model that everyone agreed to. Like, loads of different ancient civilizations. Like many models, right?
Because in the same way that you all have different flat Earth idea models now, because none of them work. If you try and have
it's
a
because
model,
we can't
you have
know
one
the
flat
full
Earth
limits of the Earth.
Right. But so you, Jesus Christ. I said this 3 years ago. One of the first videos that I did was a problem with flat Earth is you have to on a model, right? You have a model for something and you go, okay, this is my model. What would the prediction be for X, Y, and Z? Does my model fit that prediction or not? Yes or no? If it doesn't, then you need to change the model into something else. It doesn't need to be a huge change. It's not throw the whole thing away. It's literally like it could just be a little tweak to it until you explain to explain something. For example, Shane St. Pierre's model, right, that he claimed worked perfectly for observations of the star. What Alan, who was the one who'd actually made the model, had done is just taken the celestial sphere of the globe, stuck a flat plane right through the middle of it so that the celestial sphere was tiny, and then just changed which part of the celestial sphere was visible depending on your latitude. He basically tried to crowbar a giant flat Earth through the middle of the globe model to make everything fit. The problem he had with that is that made then all the stars basically the same distance away and really small. So when you then looked at a total eclipse, rather than a total eclipse only appearing in a very narrow band, which you would have from two separate celestial objects being a great distance away from the Earth, he ended up with, whenever there is a total eclipse somewhere in the Earth, his model predicted it would be visible to the entire planet, or sorry, the entire plane, because his model had the sun and the moon the same distance away on a painting in the sky. So you then have to change the model and go, okay, that doesn't work. So I then need to move the sun and the moon away from each other in order to make this narrow band of a total eclipse that you see. But that's going to screw up a bunch of other observations that model then can't account for because the Earth isn't flat. But you do this step by step and you go, okay, let's move this, let's change this until we find something that works. And to try and get back to the point that I was originally making here, you don't need to look at the sky to prove any of this, and you don't need thousands of years and all these resources of how to measure all this stuff. You could do it yourself with a car and a map, right? Because don't forget a whole model of how to forget a whole model of how to explain things. Okay, if the Earth is flat, you should be able to get a map. Now, fortunately, the explorers for centuries have given you all the continents and the various sizes of said continents. So all you need to do is come up with a map
all the
that
known
fits
ones,
that,
sure.
right? Right, but you can explore easily just with public flights the continents of let's say the known world. Okay, we don't need to go beyond Antarctica for this. I'm talking literally the bit of the known world where all the humans that you talk to and can talk to on the internet all live, right? Which are you in the UK, did you say?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So UK might technically be too small. Well, it's probably not too small. But for hypothetical scenarios, let's say Australia, right? You look at Australia on a globe versus Australia on an AE map. They look drastically different in size. Now, easy way to test is you could take a flight to Australia. Anyone could do that. You can hire a car. There are roads that run pretty much the full north-south length of Australia, as well as the full east-west length of Australia. You can go and you can drive those roads, and you can look on the trip for the car. How many miles is it across? How many miles is it up and down? Which map fits this?
Well, do you think I'm denying the size of Australia or something?
No, what I am saying is that you should be able to produce a map that can accurately show the size and shape of every single known country on the Earth. There is only one shape that will allow you to do that, because if you transform a shape at all, you distort the distances across the surface of it. So there can only be one shape of map that can accurately show everything.
So
I'll give you a clue. You won't lay it flat on a table. I'm saying the only shape of a map that can accurately show the size and shape correctly for all known locations on Earth is a ball. If you distort
why would
a shape,
the size of Australia not be able to fit on something flat?
I'm not saying the size of Australia can't. What I am saying
You're saying you can't map it?
You can falsify. Right. You can't map the size, shape, and respective distances of everything on any map.
Okay, so there you go. So now we're assuming the distances are correct. How do we
go
and measure the distances?
Anyway, I've got to do some super chats because they've been sitting here for ages and people at YouTube are getting young with me. So Brandon says, my great uncle helped create Miller Lite. Cheers for that. That was how long ago that one was sent. Bruce Wayne says, for $4.99, Dave should have played the creepy conspiracy music whilst filming the 24-Hour Sun. It would have been much more convincing. You should have done that, Dave. Next time you go down there, please do that, and then all the flat earthers will immediately believe you. Tay on the Leg says, I've been going through a rough patch mentally lately. This has been motivating me and my infinity hoop. Small steps. Yeah, fuck off, Tay on the Leg. I don't care about your mental health. Get out of here. Right. And Conspiracy Music Studios says, I'm helping for £5. I'm helping the tip facts 100k as it what the fuck, as he seems to not know how this works. This is how you get Matt to say something out loud. I don't know what the fuck whether there was a context to that when it was sent. I don't know. Cheers, CMS. Nick N says for the $2 Canadian, why do you have Rusty's assistant on screen? He's asking why I've got. I couldn't get Rusty. Rusty's too expensive.
On vacation.
Yeah. And then Billionaire Jim says for the $5, 20 plus spacecraft have landed on the moon. Firmament failed. Smiley emoji. Yeah, obviously there's no moon landings ever. Billionaire Jim again says, I like watching Flurf stumble and try to explain Earth's equatorial bulge on a flat and stationary Earth. Robert Williams says for $2, the sky is always further than your horizon. And Max, who's in here, I think he's still here, says for the 30 Uruguayan whatevers, can I show... that's it. So I close Gladiator sunset in Montevideo. You've already done that. Cheers, Max. Fuzzy Bear. Hello, Fuzzy. For $4.99 says, TFE was a social experiment which side would change its tune after the set of observations were made. FE blinked. That's exactly what happened. All right. Cheers, Fuzzy. Kango 44 in the house. Hello, Kango. Ain't seen you for a bit. Says, it's shaped like a cock. I don't know what is shaped like a cock, but that's what Kango says. Cheers, Kango. Right. Are we going to continue this or are we all done?
I mean, if I could just
I need to be shooting off, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you went to Antarctica and you saw the sun, right? And the prediction of the globe, like that was seen, right? So that obviously lends credence to the globe model. So then if we set up some sort of final experiment and we went to go see if it was the sky that was moving or the sky was stationary, and we went and we saw the sky was moving, what would your answer to that be?
Well, the point of TFE wasn't for, again, this is what I said to you before, that if you were to have a stationary globe versus a rotating globe, like, and you had the sky moving instead, that's not flat versus globe, that's stationary globe versus rotating globe. TFE was about flat versus globe, not the movement of the sky. It was looking at the shape of it, and like somebody just said, it was really more a social experiment. So whether to go with, you'd have to propose an experiment of where the two ideas would differentiate and then go and test it.
So, Gladiator, can I ask you...
the Nicholson-Morley experiment, which showed that it was stationary.
Hold on, it didn't. But we'll get to that in a sec if you want. But so was you following the beginnings of the final experiment? Because what was happening was there was the guy that paid for it all and set it up and all of that, was searching for a thing that both sides agreed would falsify the other, right? And he couldn't find anything, and then went to a debate, and these two guys, was it Locke? Was it Locke and
Greg Locke and Dean Odell.
Dean Odell and Greg Locke, yeah. So they were arguing on stage doing a flat Earth debate. A lot of people went, like prominent flat earthers and whatever, and a few other people that were interested in the topic, and they agreed on stage that if you've travelled to Antarctica and the sun goes round and round your head, his words, the flat earther, was, it's a ball. If that happens, it's a ball. Right, that was his concession. So this guy, Will Duffy, thought, light bulb moment.
What flat Earth would be, Matt, as well.
What's that, mate?
He even said, so just to clarify, he not only said what the globe prediction was, he also said, but if we see the sun come into our view and then disappear off in this way and sort of like in an arc and not go south of us, then it's flat. So he gave the prediction of, this is what we would see if the Earth is a globe, and this is what we would see if the Earth is flat. And then amazingly, when we went and saw and it matched exactly what it was for a globe, he turned around and said, Satan's powerful enough to fake that.
To fake that, yeah. But what I'm saying is, Gladiator, is like, so basically, whatever you think or whatever your opinion is, I'm not going to say that you said any of this stuff. I don't know. I didn't know you then or anything. But all of the main players in this all said that everything from Antarctica was fake. The sun videos that we'd seen before were fake. They wasn't real, because the sun doesn't do that, because that falsifies the flat earth. That's why you've never seen it, because it doesn't happen, blah, 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 blah. Then when the opportunity arose that they could actually go, they all couldn't run away fast enough. So and before they went, everybody was saying, what do you predict? Give us your flat earth predictions for what's going to happen there. And they ran away from it. Nobody was interested. Why do you think, does it not trouble you at all that the main people pushing that they lost their confidence 6 months before it happened? They didn't want to talk about it. They was already making excuses.
I think it's possible that people can be wrong about the world we live in. So I don't think, again, it's like you're assuming that do flat earthers have to be 100% right about everything for them to be right?
Yeah, but both sides were speaking with such confidence about what they believe before this happened. Then at the minute that everyone knew it was going to happen, one side stayed consistent with, we know what we're going to see, let's go do it. And the other side said, well, I'm definitely not going. I don't believe it anyway. It's not going to happen, and I don't want anything to do with it.
Right?
Yeah. And what happened to the flat earthers that went?
Yeah. So
I actually don't know. What did they do? Because I don't
so
see many people switching. I only see more and more flat earthers. So
I'll let Dave explain.
No. So, yeah. So just to reaffirm what Matt was just saying, then. So before any mention of Antarctica, lots of flat earthers were saying all this, like there's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica because it doesn't work on a flat Earth. Jaren had live streams from before he went to Antarctica where he's got the AE map and he's going, this is what we would, this is where the sun's moving. It doesn't go south of the tropic, so it wouldn't be seeing that. It wouldn't be circling around us, or we'd see, if it was a reflection, we'd be seeing two suns. He pulled up and went through all the predictions, and nothing said we'd see a circling sun exactly like the globe predicts. And we went, and everything matched the globe. And he turned around and went, yeah, it completely fucked it all up. He was basically going with the mindset of you of, well, there's all these observations and they could be either or. Antarctica was the extreme straw that broke the camel's back, because there was absolutely no explanation for a flat Earth. It was the big thing of, because with the AE map, the further south you go, the more distorted everything gets. If you were to flip the AE map and go like Antarctica at the center, you could explain the 24-hour sun in Antarctica, but then the northern 24-hour sun wouldn't work. The globe's the only shape that can predict both of them like that. So the Earth's a globe. And he changed, and he completely flipped. That was his thing. That was his wake-up moment of, this doesn't fit. But he was basically having almost like a crisis moment on the bus when we came back from Chile, where he sat there and he's like trying to process this thing, the fact that all these years of his life has been wasted and everything's wrong, and how is he going to move forward with this? And what I pointed out to him is what I've been saying to you constantly throughout this. Science doesn't prove anything, right? You go with whatever has the most evidence fitting it at that moment. So I said to him, look, I think the Earth's a globe because everything predictable fits the globe. That doesn't necessarily mean the Earth is a globe. Hypothetically, for argument's sake, you then fall into the trap of, is everything real or is it a simulation? You can only go with, well, everything points to it being real as far as I know, unless I find something that doesn't fit a real and it's CGI or whatever. So I said, just because you've changed your mind now doesn't mean you have stone baked yourself into that's it for the rest of eternity. You go with all the evidence that I have now fits a globe because there is no flat Earth that works. If somebody can come along to you later and say, actually, we've got this flat Earth model, and it can explain a 24-hour sun along with every other observation as well, then the book is back open to, well, it could be flat. And you go back and you go, okay, what new test? Because no two models will be identical to each other. There will always be a difference between them. And the more extreme those models are from each other, the more differences there will be and the more extreme those differences will be that you can then go and test. So there are plenty of tests that you can go and do to see, does this fit a globe? Does it fit a flat Earth? Antarctica was a big one, but it's an extreme one that most people can't afford to do. That's what I was saying to you, though, about measuring distances. You can take Google Earth, which is the globe, and the distances for the globe, and you can go and check any distance for any location. You can just go, between this point and this point, what does Google say is the distance between them on the globe? I'll go out and I'll measure it. Does it match a globe or does it not? If it matches the globe in any and all locations, the Earth has to be a globe. If the Earth is flat, distances somewhere will be wrong.
Or, you're just using a device that takes globe Earth measurements and it projects it on a globe. So it's assuming you're on a globe. Like,
I will say this.
Yeah, sometimes this stuff doesn't do it for me. Like,
okay, I will say this. I completely disagree with everything you're saying, but at least they've got to give Gladiator a bit of credit here, because at least he sits and lets people explain things. Whether he's just waiting for you to finish talking so he can say no. Yeah, but most people on TikTok just try and shout over each other, and it's really fucking shit for everyone to listen to. So I do appreciate that. But I just wanted to say this, regardless of any of the measurements or any of that stuff, right? So I don't straw man you. What do you think the sun does over your flat Earth?
Yeah, I think that it's not like an actual physical object in a physical location. I think it's what we see, where we see it. It's not actually where it truly is.
So you don't think it goes backwards and forwards between the tropics, like throughout the year, to be
for a non-physical object? It sure gives me sunburn.
Yeah.
Well, is light physical? Is radiation physical? Like, no.
Yes, and yes.
They're physical?
Do you think the moon's a physical object?
I think it's like, I don't think it's a rock. No, I think it's like some sort of like...
It has shadows on it, though.
I don't know. Yeah, you can have shadows on plasma.
You want to know how you can test
you can have craters in plasma.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Turn on the flashlight on your phone, shine it on a wall, and then put your hand between the flashlight and the wall. Somehow your physical hand is stopping something that is non-physical according to you. So yeah, light is physical, radiation is physical.
I'm going to shoot, mate.
Okay, all right, thanks Dave, appreciate you coming on, mate.
Take care, Dave. Good to see you.
You wore him. Right, anyway, so
another one you can do: shine a laser on like a smoky room, shine a laser on a mirror, and you can see like the actual path that the laser takes.
But you know, like how radiation can like pass through physical objects.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do radio waves.
Yeah. So it's not like a physical, tangible thing, right?
So it's the non-physical.
Physical and tangible are different things.
Okay.
Air is physical.
Just a quick, because I'm going to shut this down in a second. I just want to know something. Dave's gone, and suddenly I'm not lagging. Like that was just Dave's camera making me lag. That's what that was. That's fucking annoying. That now I know what it is. I can't have guests up when I'm on TikTok. Right. So, do you think that there is a firmament on top of this?
I think there has to be some sort of containment, yeah, because that's what science tells
right there.
us.
So sort of similar to this, right?
It could be.
So the sun.
What material it is, or
no, I'm not going to ask anything. I'm just curious about where it is. Like, so you say that the sun is not. Is there an apparent sun?
Well, I think it could be like literally like within the firmament. There could be like another medium beyond it or within it.
Right. So what we see as the sun is within this.
Yeah, I don't think it's like below it, like down here.
No. What do you think it's outside it? Is what I'm saying, like outside or inside?
It could be within it, or outside it. Yeah.
You won't commit to an answer. The reason I'm asking is because
I don't know.
But when Dave was there, so your south is this here, right? So that is your south, and he saw the sun that way. away, like south of the south of your south. So if the firmament is there,
some sort of like reflection, like the sun could be like
they accounted for that.
We could all see our own like apparent sun just based on where we are.
Oh no, that's communism. We can't have that.
I mean, that's what it could be.
I mean, it could also be unicorn farts.
Yeah.
Right. No.
I mean, that's the problem with a lot of your model. You know, it just boils down to it could be this, it could be that.
Okay.
That's what you are doing. You're projecting.
Yeah, no, but I'm admitting that. I'm admitting there could be a lot of explanations. It could be something we could never understand. I think the sky is like something beyond our comprehension.
Oh, but we understand. We can predict what the sky does.
Yeah, we can predict what it looks like for us down here, sure. People who believed in a geocentric and flat Earth predicted what the sky did. So
you do know that we know what stars are made of, right?
No, we don't know that.
Oh, we for sure know. You can do this at home. You can do simple spectroscopy observations.
How does that tell us what it's made of?
Because the different elements that the stars are made of produce different spectra, and we can analyze and compare that to.
You look at a little color sheet, and then you look at the stars.
Middle of a sentence.
And then you look back at your little color sheet, and then you assume that space is a vacuum, and you assume you're seeing forever. You assume that it's not.
We have measurements of space being a vacuum, so it's not assumed.
Yeah. Just assumptions, man. But look, I'm not here to convince you guys. I was here to convince people in the chat because I know at least one person will go and research it. But,
no, you haven't convinced them.
Hope they do, because if they do, they'll realise it's a load of bollocks.
Yeah, just research all the NASA fails. That's the one that got me.
Yeah.
If it was all bollocks, then why are they faking it?
They're not faking it. Your discernment is just not up to par.
I'm gonna assume you've been shown the videos and you're just like. You just kind of like turn your brain off to them.
Which videos? I'm going to assume you've seen the videos of ship going over the horizon and just turned your brain off. So.
No.
Yeah,
I can explain that. I'm not actually denying that. So I'm saying there are videos of like them slipping up with different camera trickery effects.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that because I've just been watching those before we came live on here today. Me and Dave was going through those on YouTube. So yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of them?
Well, Dave's a professional photographer, and so's Hasselblad, so Dave was explaining what was actually going on there. But you won't watch that because it disagrees with your worldview.
So when there's a video of a guy making a gesture, like picking up an invisible hat, like, and he's missing the hat, but he's closing his hands, and so you've seen that one, and he's like moves it to the side. So what's your explanation for that?
I don't know. I did see an explanation. I did see a debunking of that, but I don't remember what they said.
But what's your explanation? What is your?
I haven't got an explanation for it.
So you just wait for someone to like spoon feed you it?
Yeah, like you do.
Okay, so would you like to hear my explanation? Maybe it'll resonate with you. They're using augmented reality.
Why?
So they're using.
Why would they get it wrong? They're trying to
create the illusion. They're trying to create the illusion that they're in space, so they have objects floating around. So they normally have like a hat or something like that.
I know what you're saying, right? I agree, but why would they fuck it up then if they're so good at it? And if they can fool the world, but they can't quite get this thing in his hand at the right time, right?
Okay, so I can explain. Most of the time they don't fuck it up. Okay, but you have to assume that what they're doing is they're doing it live. So it's a lot harder to do something live rather than, like you said, if they're doing it in post-production, obviously you just go and clean it. Any mistakes, you proof it. But the problem is they're doing these things live because they try and make it look convincing.
Yeah, you know that there's live streams 24/7, don't you? And these live videos are like hours and hours and hours and hours long, and someone's found one thing that's not right. You can just literally go and watch.
No. We go to like a 20-minute video on the official NASA site of an interview that they're doing with some kids or whatever, and then we see them messing up. And
where's that?
I just explained that video of.
Oh, that's on NASA. Is that on NASA's website?
Yeah, I found the official video because I did think when I see these videos, I go, well, someone could have just gone and edited it to make it look fake. Let me see the actual broadcast footage, and I found it from the official NASA YouTube, the official broadcast footage of it, and it's there. And I feel like if you see someone go and try and grab an object that's not there and make the motion of moving that object.
Can I just ask this though? Right?
That to me is like obvious.
Can I just ask this because I never really I don't space. I say this all the time. Space ain't fucking interesting to me. I don't give a shit whether we can go to space or not. The argument I have,
you'll be all right when you learn it's not real.
Yeah, I'll be all right regardless, mate.
You'll be fine. I know you will be,
mate. I say this to everybody. I've done a podcast since 2020 about conspiracies and all sorts of stuff. I'm a conspiracy theorist. Nothing you say to me surprises me because I come from that mindset.
Awesome.
There is no reason for them to lie about the shape of the Earth. A flat Earth is the thing that made me start looking seriously at everything I used to believe, because I see that there wasn't any evidence. Space and all of that sort of stuff, I can't confirm. I can't do anything to all I can do with space is the same as you. Listen to this person, believe this source, or listen to this person and believe this source. I can't look at that myself. I can look at the sky myself. I can look at the horizon myself. I can look at which way the sun goes myself. I can watch a sunset myself. None of that, all of that is explained on a globe. None of that is explained on a flat Earth.
You can see the sky move over us whilst we don't observe or feel
2 points.
Moving.
2 points of rotation.
I can confirm. I see the South Celestial Pole every night.
Yeah, well, maybe it's a geocentric globe. Will you guys be open to that?
Yes. Max probably wouldn't, but to me, it's all about globe. I don't know how.
So that's funny to me. Like, this is just a personal thing. It's like, I think out of the two arguments, the movement part's way more like fascinating and way more important. Like, who cares what the shape is? The idea of are we in the center or not is more crazy. That's just to me.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, but that's a religious thing. I don't give a fuck about whether I'm the most important thing in the universe.
If you're atheist, right? I'm guessing, or you don't believe, or there isn't evidence.
I'm agnostic.
Oh, okay, cool. So as an agnostic person, you're like, I don't really know, I don't really care, I guess. Like, there's not enough evidence either way.
Yeah.
If you were told, like, tomorrow, it just became known fact that we are actually in the center of the universe and everything's going around us, that would probably have, like, some sort of impact on, like, you'd go like, whoa, okay, so maybe this is a special place. Like, maybe we were created, like.
Oh, possibly. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Because the idea that we're in the center, like, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, possibly.
We're not even the center of the solar system, dude.
Okay, everything's going around us, my guy.
It's not.
Even
in the modern geocentric, the Earth is in the center.
Are you? Sorry, Max. Have I talked you round to it being a geocentric globe? Are we making progress?
No, I'm trying to find like middle ground. Like.
There is.
I mean, I'm way more confident in the idea of it being stationary than the idea of it being flat, for sure. But I'm still like, if I had to bet money on it, I'd say it's flat.
Would you bet much money on it?
No.
Why don't you come with us?
I'd bet a lot of money on it.
I would bet all the money.
I'd bet my house.
I would bet one kidney.
That it's flat, or
I'd bet my left bollock.
Stationary?
Yeah, me too.
What about the fact that if it's stationary or not? Because like in your own paradigm, you can never really know.
Same thing. I would bet a kidney and an eye.
Wow,
that's how sure I am.
Yeah, that's called religion, man. That's called religion.
I mean, based on the gyroscopes and stuff.
And I'm sure of what I said.
Like, I don't know. You still haven't explained how a gyroscope would measure the sky's movement. So based on a gyroscope,
transfer of energy down from the sky to the earth.
By what would cause the transfer?
Think about it, right? Think about if you.
What mechanism?
Yeah.
What energy?
If something's moving, right? If hypothetically the sky was moving around us, that would obviously generate some sort of force. And if there's a different medium in that and between us, and obviously we're in a different medium, it would transfer that energy down. So there's an example where you can wave your hand like above a bowl of water. Without touching the water, you can make the water move, right? There's a transfer of energy. You're moving the
air, though, which is in turn is moving
It's moving the air, so it gives you centrifugal and Coriolis forces, and that's what you pick up on.
But you know that would generate a vortex that would include...
That we see. There is a vortex.
Why doesn't it affect me, then? Why does it affect flying stuff, but I'm just sitting here perfectly chilling?
Yeah, because it's not that strong.
But it's strong enough to deflect a cannonball.
Shooting something over a long distance.
Yeah.
I'd need
The
to see how it's
cannonball, you could shoot a cannonball that has way more mass than me, and it still would deflect.
Well, I mean, if you also got shot by a cannon, you'd be affected by the wind, like the speed you're going. Like it's like jumping out of a plane. Like you.
Yeah, but it would affect me while I'm on flight, but while I'm sitting here drinking mate, it doesn't affect me. Funny how it's selective.
What, like how we're not affected by the supposed Earth rotation? Selective,
Yeah,
like gravity.
but we can explain that. We can explain that on a globe because the thing is flying and it's not propelled. It doesn't have propulsion. It's just a projectile. So the projectile will maintain its trajectory and the Earth moves below it. That is perfectly explained on a globe.
Okay, resuming. I've got no idea what happened there. It all just froze. Can anyone hear? Am I here? Hello. I think what's going on is so regardless of what anything tells me. Hang on a minute. Why is that not charging? So regardless of what anything tells me on my computer, I've just felt the bottom of it and it is absolutely red hot. So I think I've been asking it to do too much with Dave being in there, Dave also being on the thing over there and all of that sort of stuff for as long as I've been on. So I just think it's an issue with, apparently the MacBook Air doesn't have an internal fan. Yeah, that's what it was. It doesn't have an internal fan. So, it's overheated with all of the things that I've been asking it to do. So it just froze on me and I couldn't do anything. I don't know if I was still moving for you, but I wasn't for me and I just couldn't do anything. So I've had to quickly shut it down and back on, but it's let me resume for some reason. And now it's doing it again. So I don't know if, for some reason, I don't know if anyone can still hear me, but I'm frozen. I'm trying to shut things down. So I am going to just go. So, yeah, it's struggling to shut down TikTok Studio. Oh, that should be all right now. Yeah, I was just trying to shut TikTok Studio so it froze again. So whoever that was that you gave me the final crush of my computer. Who was it that they posted a link in the chat and I tried to put the link on the screen and I was going down trying to find the thing to put it on and yeah Jim, if you could send me $2,000 I can get a MacBook Pro and then I'll be able to do this properly, but generally it should work. It's just I was asking it to do too much with Dave up there, but as soon as Dave went, it wasn't pushing itself too much. So I think I did get another super chat from Billionaire Jim anyway, and there it is, right? The Jim of Billionaire. Why is it tiny like that? Like that. So Earth's equatorial bulge is widening. Is the widening of our planet at its equator caused by the centrifugal force from its daily rotation? It's pointless saying this stuff to any of these people, though. Billionaire. Are you still on my life? What, I've gone? what I've gone and my life continues? How the fuck does that work? I don't know. I've shut it down. So I'm going to have to, I don't know. I'm going to stop my life. I'm going to have to figure out a way to stop it then, I guess. Right? Yeah, thermal throttling. Yeah, I know, but when I was testing, so I've been learning stuff as I'm going along. So when I was testing how much it was using, it wasn't much. I'm not sure it was thermal throttling only. I think there was other things because I didn't have the settings done correctly. Now I know how to do it correctly. I think having the guest up on Ecamm was using too much power to also be on TikTok. So I've learnt that lesson. I think it will handle it perfectly. Yeah, this is elevated. So it's already elevated. It's already not down. So The problem is as well, I also had this all booted up for hours before I even came on today, so that didn't work. That wasn't a good idea. So what I need to do is keep it all shut down until I use it and then let it boot up, and then it should be absolutely fine. So I've figured out the problem now, so we're moving, we're getting somewhere. I've stopped the at first it was the camera, I was using the same camera on both apps, and that was the reason that I had them on different settings, and that was one of the reasons I was getting so much lag. Today's lag was totally because I was asking too much of the computer. It's a laptop. It's a Apple MacBook Air. Everything that I need on it so far has always been absolutely smooth as fuck. But recently I've been asking too much of it, and I'm pretty sure it's since I got the new version of iOS. I think it's asking too much. Because it's taken up too much. I just shouldn't have upgraded. I always leave the iOS and leave it old because I don't like the laggy bits, and I think that's the problem. I don't want a PC. They're bollocks. I might have to get a fan tray. That could be an option. It's definitely red hot under there. It's cooling down now. But anyway, hopefully everyone enjoyed that regardless. Cheers for all of the super chats. Is my TikTok still going, by the way? Max? Am I still live? No, I'm not live anymore. Bizarre. Yeah, no, it's not. That's what I mean. I've got an M3. I've got an M3 chip. Yeah, I'll get that fan tray, Max. I did read about that the other day, and I just thought it ain't that, so I don't need it. But I've not felt it before. Like, I've just felt it when it was struggling there. I felt underneath it. It's like, fuck, that's not right. So I will definitely. That's what a little while ago I've got a fan here, and I tried to move it there to cool it down, but I couldn't. The wire didn't reach, so I had to just give up with that. Yeah, so I will just do that. Fuck's sake. These things we do, I'm not forking out my whole year's earnings off of this for a fucking computer. Anyway, right, cheers. I'll trade you my MacBook Pro. No, bollocks. And I don't like PCs. I just don't like them. I've had them before, and they get really laggy really quick. Like I had more problems with PCs than I did with fucking these. It's telling me I've only been live for 6 minutes, which is weird because everyone else is on the same live, I'd imagine. Anyway, hopefully this will stay on. Hopefully I haven't lost all of that by crashing. I don't know how it works. But I'm going to go off now anyway and get some sleep. Catch you all later. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for the support tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed Gladiator, even though he's a bit of a dickhead. See you later.